And welcome to I Drink and I Know Things. We hit over 1,500 subscribers. And my dumbass went around telling people if I hit that, we would do a 24-hour live stream. So please, if you're in my Discord, the link is there. Help a brother out. We're in for the long haul, guys. I am gonna have to step away, obviously, to feed the two children that are left at home. But everybody else left and went to the rodeo up in Sisters. They're gone for the weekend. Here we are. I got an 18-pack of beer and 3 Steelies and an ounce of weed. Let's roll. Let's get this shit going. How's it going, memes?
Oh, wait. Oh, buttons and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I was watching The Undertaker.
Why are you watching The Undertaker still? What is wrong with you people?
Hey, don't hate on Dead Man Walking. All I know is voice said The Undertaker and Goldberg. I'm like, I like both those people. Let's see what's going on. And it was more entertaining than you.
Yeah, it was just it's funny because there's a caption under one of the clips of Undertaker and Goldberg 10 years too late, and it fucking is because Goldberg tries to get Undertaker up to do the pump, or what the fuck sledgehammer pump, whatever the fuck he does. He drops him, then he Undertaker accidentally, when he does the Tool Tones pile driver, actually drops fucking Goldberg right in his bloody head. Then when Goldberg does get Undertaker up for his move, he drops Undertaker on his head, and it's like two old codgers fucking about. Like,
both guys are in their 50s. Taker might actually be 60 now.
Well, no, I think Taker's like 53 or 54, or maybe he's 55, and I know Goldberg's 52. And let's be honest, Undertaker had a hip replacement like 2 years ago. So yeah, this is, there's a certain time when you have to stop fucking wrestling.
I think Ric Flair would disagree with you.
Woo! But he's like, he's short and skinny. Like, he has no real big power moves. Both these two guys have basically, with Undertaker, the Last Ride, the choke slam, the pile driver. With Goldberg, he used to, hold the wrestler up above his head and press them, and his sledgehammer onto the ground. They're big power move people. And there's people who are like, look at the what do you call him, the showstopper,
Big Show.
You're talking about the Big Show. Also,
no, I'm not talking about the Big Show. I'm talking about fucking. He does a super kick. He's part of Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, right? He's still 50, but he's short and skinny, and he can still pull moves off.
No, first off, Shawn Michaels, his problem was always the fact that he tried to wrestle like a luchador, but he wasn't one. So he ended up breaking his damn back and shit. I do remember the best fight Shawn Michaels ever had was him and Bret Hart, the Iron Man match. That was
no. It was you're talking about HBK versus Razor Ramon, the ladder match from WrestleMania 10.
No, I'm talking the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 11 or 12, where Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels went over an hour wrestling. And then they had the follow-up, which was the Montreal Screwjob, where Bret got fucked over. Remember that? And no, Bret didn't screw Bret. Vince, you did that, buddy.
I'm sensing some internal bias here.
Just a little.
Oh God!
I was always a Bret Hart fan. And when he actually switched and went to WCW, I went to WCW too. And remember, I'm the same guy that I went to the Staples Center and saw the Blackout matches where I saw it on Sunday night. The Godfather showed up with the Ho Train, right? That Monday, he turned into the fucking censorship guy.
Remember that?
Yeah, the Good Father or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, that's because he was a good boy. He learned from his past, and
But no, I
improving.
literally saw the very last Ho Train in WWE history.
Yeah,
And
no, ain't nothing wrong with that, dude. I remember seeing the formation of the Rock and Sock Connection in Boston.
No shit. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Nice.
I remember it was there. It's like The Rock and Mick Foley teaming up. It's like, what is this? What is this going on here? It's like, oh, you got the Rock toss and a rock bomb the people's elbow, and Mick Foley reaching into his crotch to pull out Mr. Sacco.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? I remember being a kid and thinking that was so cool. Now I'm an adult and I'm like, that is the dumbest shit ever.
Dude, it was great. It's like the Rock story. He's like, the millions and millions of Rock fans. And then Mick Foley's there. He's like, and the dozens and dozens of Mick Foley fans. It was amazing.
No, and in the chat, one of those guys says, sort of apt that you are talking about soap operas for men, seeing as that is exactly what politics are. Interesting point.
Well, politics is pro
you're
wrestling.
Not wrong. And we got Brian in the Observer in the super chat for $1. No message. Hey Brian, if you have a message you want me to read out, write it in. Thank you very much.
I think it's a free YouTube premium chat.
But yeah, no, politics, soap opera for men. I mean, he has a point, doesn't he? What do you guys think?
I don't think he's wrong. I mean, was it Lionel always is like, he's like, politics is like pro wrestling, because it's, what are you going out there? You're going out there and you're doing like a shoot. You're just basically just going out there. You have your microphones and you say your little bit. You want a little catchy thing. You want to hear the big pops from the crowd and everything. And I've been saying for a while, it's like, all right, it seems like a lot of the news that we're seeing, it's like kind of like pro wrestling went from a sport to sports entertainment. News has gone from news to news entertainment.
Do you think that's why there's the rise of well, let's be honest, I hit 1,500 subscribers on the rise of people like me who I am not a journalist. I don't even try to be a journalist. I am not Tim Pool. I am somebody like Tucker Carlson or Glenn Beck. And no, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say I'm as big as them. What I'm saying is I comment on politics.
Come on, putting yourself in the same bracket as Tucker Carlson. Come on.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is we're doing the same job. We are commenting on the news. We are not reporting it. That's my point.
To be fair, I mean, in that characteristic, you did interview a candidate for Senate. So in that respect, yes, but I also don't see Tucker Carlson reaching below the table, pulling out a whole bunch of Coors Lights during his show.
I never said I'm as big as any of these people or even on the same level. What I'm saying, though, is I'm doing the same job. I'm commenting on the news, like Tema just pointed out in the chat. It's called commentary. That's right. That's what it's called. And right now, you have the rise of YouTubers going into political commentary and actually challenging the big boys at CNN and Fox News, aren't you? And that's where the pushback and the censorship is coming out. Am I wrong here?
Wait, are you saying that some of what we may be seeing is a lot of the old school media realizing, oh, these folks are taking a bunch of our viewers. Maybe if we got rid of some of these people, we'd have more viewers. But then you got the Streisand effect and everything in play, so... Yeah, it's the internet's an interesting place. Human beings are complicated creatures. Ooh, I have a text message. Hold on.
Okay, here's the thing. Voice of One, even I don't think even you can really disagree with this statement, but we'll see. When you have people that could take an $80 microphone and a $400 PC and compete on the same level with $1 million corporation. So you have people like, I don't know, Styx, Sargon of Akkad, Computing Forever. The list goes on, does it not? When they can compete with $1 billion corporation, yeah, they're a little scared, aren't they? We're working with a fucking PC, an $80 mic, and an internet bill.
Where
What?
exactly have you been for the past fucking 5 years, Mod? We've been saying this for 5 years. Even you've said it before. This is nothing new. The fucking mainstream media are dying. That's just fact at this point, and they're trying to take everybody down with them.
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, well, I mean, some of it is. Let's be fair. We're seeing the rise of a new. I don't necessarily want to say order, but in a way, we are seeing a new dynamic. We're seeing a paradigm change, as Mr. Sticks would refer to it as it's like, okay, you can put on the news and you can listen to folks that you like. However, the internet, again, due to much lack of regulation, it's a lot more liberal in many ways, in that you can say some of the naughty words. So I think the media is pointing out a lot of things. It's like, all right, how do you compete with something like that, where you got a lot of folks where they have to go through their producers, you have to go through this and that, and just the sheer fact with the rise of social media, it's like there have been a lot of YouTubers that have been commenting on tweets for years now, like Voice was saying, and now it's like if you put on the news, what do you see a lot of the time? It's like, all right, you see put on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they're reporting on tweets as well. So it's like, all right, they're catching up to what a lot of YouTubers were doing several years ago. It's like, dude, I still remember when Anderson Cooper was freaking in Libya and you see like mortars and explosions going off behind him and you're like, oh, good God, man, get inside. And now it's like, okay, you're commenting on tweets. It's like, I can just put on YouTube and see that. So
no, and memes. Thank you for the 99 cents. You're on the panel, so say what
no,
you want to say.
I have to use my free YouTube super chats or I lose them.
But okay, so here's the thing also. They're not only coming after people that might be controversial, like me. Some people would say and have been saying that I'm controversial. We make poor jokes, what have you. But they're also going after pop culture. They're going after people that talk about Star Trek. This is getting ridiculous. What's next? Are they going to attack the makeup channels?
Oh, wait for it. Just wait for it, man. No, even Mr. Poole pointed out earlier, there was a channel that I believe all they did was put up nice sounding like sounds, like beach sounds or like rain or stuff you could literally just put on and then just use it to fall asleep, and they're getting demonetized. They're getting caught up in all this, because that's the thing, dude. If you start making changes and you're utilizing algorithms and stuff, it's kind of like updating the law. It's like you can update the law, but as soon as you put anything new on the books, there's always going to be unintended consequences. And like, I get it. If you're trying to go against like folks that are just sitting there and just like spamming like hateful things, it's like on the internet, it's like if someone's just going to like post an entire page of N-bombs and stuff back in the day, we consider that spam.
Here's the thing, no, okay, I get it. You bring out the obvious example, the N-bomb. I gotcha. But who gets to determine what is edgy, what is okay, and what is not? And when do we actually get a list of rules to follow? Because it's so
ambiguous.
Yeah, that's the word. And there's no clarity to it at all. The waters are so muddied. We don't know what is okay. I mean, are you allowed to make a joke about pigeons? I mean, mine. Is that a stupid joke now? What if, I do the clown world joke? What if I do,
apparently the people who will be making that decision are the lesbian queers.
Oh, well, there goes the monetization there.
I didn't hear what he said, actually. My daughter was freaking hollering
he was referring to a certain journalist who a particular comedian, I believe, was taken the piss out of for several years?
Well, a couple of times. He didn't do it for several years. It was like 3 videos.
Well, it was over the course of several years, I believe.
And once again, we are celebrating hitting 1,500 subscribers. If you would like to join the show, and you're not in my Discord, let me know. I'll drop the Discord link. If you are in the Discord, it's right there in the general chat. I also threw it out on a couple of other people's Discords. We're in for the long haul today, I think, guys. I had promised a 24-hour stream. I'm going to try and stick to that. So, yeah, this should be interesting.
Yes, come, join us, and let's celebrate Mad's last day of actual monetization.
Why you got to be like that, homie?
I'm just basing this on historical precedent, man. All I know is the last time you did a really long stream, that was the end of your monetization at the time.
Yeah,
I
got to
haven't
go with
even
names
said
on
a
this one.
bad word yet. I don't think I've even cussed. Come on, I'm being PG-13 right now, buddy.
Yeah, well, if beach noises are problematic, I think just us existing is problematic.
Is it? And how dare you say I don't have the right to exist, sir? I take offense to that.
Oh, I never said you didn't have a right to. I'm just saying that people may view us as problematic. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my god, Matt's getting attacked by little kiddos.
No, I was reading the chat. One of those guys says I should drop a server invite in High Impact Flicks server. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's shift gears a little bit here. So Voice of One, I had told you we were going to talk pop culture for at least a little bit, which is why you're here, because you're sick of politics. Man, is there anything good coming out in Great Britain at all anymore?
No.
That's it? Just no? Like seriously, I need more than that. It takes me at least 30 seconds to tell my kids to stop yelling over my mic. Like, come on, cut me some slack here, buddy. Like,
you asked a question, a man gave you an answer. That's what you get,
don't
man.
defend him memes. What, you're white knighting for him now?
Well, I mean, everyone deserves representation.
Okay, so you want a longer answer? No.
That no consisted of 2 O's in it. Wait, is that an actual no? Hold on, let me look this up. The internet has words.
Okay, whatever.
No.
You know what? I'm going to lead the fucking conversation. I guess, as the host, it's my job. And there, I cuss finally. All right. So, Voice.
Stop eating the carpet.
Voice. Tell me
Yeah,
exactly why season 1 of Enterprise is better than season 4, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Blue.
No, you're not. Okay, dude, now this is getting ridiculous. Come on now. You know how this works.
This is the first time I've been in one of your streams. I don't consort with the likes of you very often.
Lies.
Sorry about that. Roommate's dog started eating the carpet.
Okay, so right, you want an answer? Well, you get a fucking answer, then you can shove it right up your arse. Right. The reason why season 1 of Enterprise is better than season 4 is because season 1 was Star Trek. At least it was a new beginning. You got to see this new ship, and it was actually like Star Trek episodes after season 1. Basically 3 and 4 are just one long fucking episode with the same time travel bollocks the whole way spewed through it. No. Season 1 was better than season 4 by a long shot.
Okay, thank you for actually giving me an answer. I appreciate that. I will now do my job and tell you why you're wrong. Season 1 was slow. It didn't build any real climax. They had this stupid time travel predicament throughout the entirety of the season. The interaction between T'Pol and the rest of the crew was awkward at best, and just plain cringy at worst. Season 4 was exciting. It had a arc. It was going somewhere. Matter of fact, it was almost like a group of miniseries rolled up into one, and it was amazing until the very last episode, which I can't give any credit to. I mean, having Riker watching a holodeck program did the entire show a disservice. And matter of fact, I can see why the guy that worked on Quantum Leap and played Archer, why he doesn't really do Star Trek conventions. That was a slap in the face to the entire cast. I cannot defend that episode, but the rest of season 4 was amazing, and it was a collection of miniseries, and you could tell that they did not know they were going to be canceled until the last minute.
I knew they were going to be canceled.
Yeah. How? You looked in your crystal ball?
No, I watched season 4.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, which is the worst enterprise of all? I got you. Come on, man. Compared to season 1, season 4 was way more action-packed and had way more substance. And the characters were built out and developed.
No, in season 1, they actually had a few lights on the ship. By season 4, apparently, they could only afford one bulb per fucking room. No.
Memes. Do you even care?
I am literally starting to fall asleep at the start of Star Trek. I'm starting to feel the Sargon sleepies coming on. I have nothing to add. I don't watch. I like Deep Space Nine. I thought that was pretty good. Oh, hey, Farty.
Oh, great. We have our favorite troll from a call center. Welcome.
Hello. How is everybody this morning?
It's more. Oh, that's right. You're on the other side of the Hollow Earth.
But no, Farty, we hit 1,500 subscribers a few days ago. We're having a celebration stream. I'm going to try and go the distance here. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how dead I am tomorrow. How's it going, man, on your end of the world and your little call center cubicle? How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I had a decent sleep last night.
Wow, you guys are really exciting. God damn.
I think you need to upgrade the hosting here. So all I know right now is
upgrade the hosting. Oh, it's like that. I'm throwing you questions here. All right, fine. Memes. Fuck you. Let's do this. The Boston Red Sox are the worst goddamn team on the face of the fucking planet. They couldn't find a baseball if it was shoved up their fucking asshole. Prove me wrong.
So Matt, who's the World Series champ from this past year?
Yeah, and who right now has the guy that's going for the Triple Crown and probably going to be the MVP of the NL? Dude,
the Dodgers have the best pitching staff in the NLCS.
You said they're the best team in the NL. Ha, ha, ha. They are, and we're coming for you. We'll see if you make it back to the World Series because the Dodgers have been there, what, last 3 years?
How's that
Oh,
going?
no, this year will be 3. Sorry.
And how has that played out? It's okay, Matt. It's okay, Matt. You can go back to your happy space. It's all right, Matt. You know what? I have a little tune for you. All right, that's 15 seconds. We should be good.
All right. First off, you're a very rude and mean individual. Second, Nah, man. I mean, seriously, what should I open up the website? We can go to MLB.com and we can see what the stack up is right now. I believe the Dodgers lead the NL West. How's the Red Sox doing?
Check back in October.
Fair play, sir. Fair play. Let's check the chat again. Oh, Doku, $2 super chat. The Dodgers are great at dodging. Fuck you, Doku.
Matt, you give me new inspiration. I should put on a Red Sox video. We'll do a little highlight reel. I'm not even a huge baseball fan per se. I mean, I like putting it on like when we're playing the Yankees and stuff, just because history and stuff. But maybe I should make a little homage. I don't know. Maybe I'll troll you.
Well, here's the thing. We don't need to sit here and talk about baseball. I know my audience doesn't necessarily like baseball at all. They just like making fun of the Dodgers, even though they've never seen a baseball game ever in their life. I'm looking at you, Batman. But go ahead. What
round is?
It's not round.
You guys made Mad actually do a Google search on what that was. That's how frustrated he is.
I know, right? Pissing me off. I'm even wearing my Dodger hat right now. Fuck you guys.
That just sounds like the faggiest fucking threatening action. It's like, you made him Google that, and it's like, oh my god, I'm so scared.
This is where
I'm
we have sunk to, man. This is where we've sunk to. Oh, and Melissa apparently had to sing the Sesame Street theme song in middle school choir.
Oh god, I remember in middle school when the Macarena was a thing, having to do the Macarena.
Dude, that was awesome. I still remember. And then sixth grade, hey, Sabbaday, hey, Macarena.
Hey,
so cringy. It was horrible, man.
Oh god. Oh, and as Dade would say, if you build it, they will come. I think that's the movie reference. I could be wrong.
But okay, so Star Trek is boring memes. All right, fair enough. Doku, how about you bore memes with economics? That'll fill up 5 hours.
I like economics.
Then do Star Trek then.
I don't know. I kind of economic myself out. I made money this week. I'm happy.
Oh, the oil trading's going well. We haven't bombed Saudi Arabia yet, huh?
Yeah, it was rather nice this week. I did well. I sold the position for 11%. It only took me 3 days. I'm happy.
So what you're saying is I should have actually renewed my my site purchasepetroleum.com.
That's your prerogative.
Okay.
I just trade double leveraged ETFs. It's much easier.
Yeah, but you also know what you're doing.
And hey, you never know until you try. No risk, no reward.
I'm guessing you guys were talking about this in Discord earlier when I was dealing with the electrician and stuff. Naked Flora man who crashed stolen car, then evaded chasing police. John, fuck off. Screw your last name, dude. 25 sparked a police pursuit this week after deputies found an abandoned vehicle on Interstate 81. He was later apprehended, reportedly without clothing. This guy looks like a real winner. He's got the all-seeing eye on his neck where his Adam's apple should be. So he's a winner.
Oh boy.
Wait, was he printing US currency onto his body?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, he's
definitely a winner. You gotta love Florida, man.
Hold on. I think I actually have a photo of this gentleman right here. So, as we can see, that is a very on-looking eye. Thank you, voice.
You heard it here first, folks. But no, Doku, man, we actually made it to 1500. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So I'll see you in 24 hours, right?
Yo, you're bouncing already, huh? I get. We're gonna turn this into what is it, ASML, where I just go to bed, right?
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be the first time that we've heard you adorably snoring there. It's like, oh, Matt's asleep. And we have to employ Jensen to end the stream.
I said, but I'm tired. I've been walking all day trying to find a job. Come on.
Were you?
Bonus points if you know what song that is.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Rugrats when Grandpa was like, back in my day, we had to walk to school 15 miles uphill both ways.
No, that was George Thorogood song.
Oh.
You know, one bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
Oh, that. My apologies to Grandpa Pickles for my ageism.
I don't think he gives a shit because he's actually voiced by a younger person anyway.
Wait, is that cultural appropriation?
No.
We don't even know anymore.
Is it racist?
It's everything's racist.
Okay.
Okay. First off, it's a running joke that I get one word in every quote wrong. So yeah, I get it. Fucking assholes.
You are consistent though. You
racist.
have been calling Aunt Jack for going on a year and a half now.
I know. I just don't know how to speak the Queen's English. I mean, I'm sorry.
You can't even speak American properly. My apologies.
Ain't is an American word, not a Commonwealth word. You're the ones that go, it ain't no thing, man.
What? I used to say
ain't a
that.
word, and I ain't gonna say it.
Yep. And aunt is a Commonwealth word. It's short for auntie. Like you say auntie, we say auntie.
It's aunt,
yeah,
or aunt.
You say aunt, we say aunt.
Oh God, no, Marty, don't do it. He's gonna start calling him Aunt
There's
Jack now.
There's a long O in it, aunt.
Auntie Jack? Auntie Jackie?
Oh God. You're just gonna start misgendering your audience, Mad. We're all going to hell.
Hey, for all we know, we're already in purgatory. So, pick a door, my friend.
I'll let Mimi Diane pick the first door.
But all right. So yeah, Doku, it's your turn to come up with something, buddy. I need to step away and get the twins something to eat real quick, but I'll be right back.
Oh God, you're handing. Oh, I have the power. Star Wars is better than Star Trek. Changed my mind.
Fuck you.
Go make your children some dinner.
No, I can't let that stand.
So you're neglecting feeding your children because you'd rather argue over movies and TV shows.
Or Oregon CPS called on Oregon Man for arguing Star Trek.
I'll be back. Fuck you, memes.
They've seen it. They'll understand memes.
Dooku, if you really think that, give me your address and I'll come over and tell you why.
Wait a second.
Who do I look like? Mad Dodge? Come on.
No, you look like Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh, do you have Kyber crystals?
I don't expose my secrets.
Oh.
But if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, then you know the answer.
Oh. So you have blue
Wrong.
sky.
Wrong crystals.
Kyber crystals.
You know.
Well, as Lois Griffin once said, meth is a hell of a drug.
As long as it makes you money.
Well,
Got
that
more than
oil.
rocks. Well, yeah, oil. Never tried to snort oil before, though. Not sure how that would work out.
Don't do it. It's not as tasty as it sounds. Oh, wait, that was gasoline. Never mind.
Oil? What? Okay, I thought I was an idiot in middle school snorting Smarties, but I'm obviously smarter than you. I'm like, what the-
I think I snorted salt
that's
once.
wrong. We all know it's pixie sticks.
It's fucking funny.
yeah.
Especially if you're lazy. They're already crushed up for you. Come on now. Put a little work into it.
No, it's
fucking,
called the refining process.
it's fucking funny. Me idiot brother was working for this fucking panel beaters workshop, and they had this drum of fucking ammonia, and on it says in giant words, "Do not inhale." Does anyone smelt fucking ammonia before?
To be fair, they do
I
not drink on
not
bleach.
tried.
Eh?
Bleach does have a label that says "Do not drink."
Yeah, Doku.
I can't say I've tried. Only the oil.
Okay, basically it's like fucking tear gas. It burns your eyes, it gets up your nose, it shuts your fucking respiratory system down. It is fucking horrific. Anyway, bloody.
Oh no, I know what ammonia is. I just try to avoid it because fuck that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so my idiot brother, because he's a druggo cunt, he's like, "Oh, do not sniff." He took that as
God.
it'll get you high. He's opened up
God.
the tap. He's took a deep fucking. Fucking, and the boss's son come down, just fucking laughed his ass off and went, "You sniffed the ammonia, didn't you, dickhead?" And he's like, he fucking shaking his head, nodding at the bloke. He's like, I fucking did that too when I started here.
Okay,
My
since you
God.
guys are going off on a tangent on something weird, I'm gonna throw this back around to something kind of important. Hey Doku. All right, so Tim Pool is still on this crusade against Vox and this whole drama that erupted the past few days. Which all of us are, which is why I'm still talking about it. But
Well, there's quite a few people still on that.
he did a video today where you have emails of people trying to get others deplatformed from payment processing companies, i.e. PayPal, i.e. Visa, i.e. MasterCard.
Yeah, Stripe, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard. I'm sure Chase Bank is somewhere in there, like the usual suspects.
What are we going to do when they're using these type of tactics? And to be honest, we're better than that. We don't do that. We argue ideals. They are going after our pocketbooks and our livelihoods.
Yeah, of course they are, because they can't win in the marketplace of ideas, and they're underhanded. I can't talk. I snorted the ammonia. Underhanded little cunts. And what the fuck do you expect of these people? They're fucking children. They'll act like such. Although I would say, you know what? If you're that stupid, let them try. Compile evidence. Make sure you document everything. Save it onto a USB or an external HDD, and kindly reach out to Ty Beard or Rikita Law. See if you can't get a class action lawsuit going forward, because I'm pretty sure there could be a tortious interference argument made there. Maybe you can toss slander and defamation in there for good measure.
Who's getting slandered?
Oh, I'm just saying, if you do find yourself on the receiving end of the outrage mob and they start going after your livelihood, as long as you haven't directly attacked these people, if it's just like commentary, you haven't DM'd them or try to dox them or, basically do everything that they do, you could easily make a tortious interference claim. Look at Vic Mignogna or Richard C. Meyer, a.k.a. Yo Boy Zach, a.k.a. Diversity in Comics.
Doku, are we entering the age of the social media lawsuit?
We're already there.
Okay.
Well,
because this seems to be happening a lot more.
Well, real quick, what constitutes slander or harassment anymore? All right, Doku. Let's say you and I have an argument in real life. We might get into a fist fight, and then it's over, probably, right? My best friend and I can't count how many times I've knocked this dude out. We are still best friends. On the internet, that's not how it works. You don't get into a fist fight and then drink a beer. You block each other and you wig out and you attack their payment processors and you wig out some more. And you get what I'm saying?
Well, obviously, okay. So let me just preface this entire argument, because it is a gray area within civil court, and a lot of it does depend on first off, what evidence you have, and also who the judge is going to be. So the best argument you could possibly make is that this person either lied about you or tried to falsify quote evidence, but of course it's the fucking internet, so people can make up whatever bullshit they want. If they directly try to go after your livelihood, like get you fired from your job, or destroy your reputation to the point where it results in, like, let's say CPS shows up at your door over a lie they said about you on the internet, you could easily make a case for slander. But obviously this is new territory with the dawn of the Twatters outrage mob. So you're treading new ground. A big part of it is going to be who your lawyer is, who the judge is, and if you can make a solid case that this person intentionally tried to ruin your life based upon lies. Yeah, that could be viewed as slander or defamation, and that could easily get them in a lot of trouble legally. But now you have to take it to court.
Well, no, and what jurisdiction do you take it to? Also, that's a question. I live in Oregon. If somebody is slandering me and they live in Great Britain, how exactly can I do anything about that whatsoever?
Ask
Well, at that
Sargon.
point, you're kind of fucked.
No, ask
Well, at that point,
Sargon and
you're
Aquila.
fucked. Again, that's why you need that's why if you're gonna go down this route, like, it would be easier with Vic Mignogna because there were coworkers of his and the corporation did fire him based upon what some of his coworkers did. They lived in the United States, it happened in a certain state, and you can pin those allegations on very specific individuals. It's not like everybody in the outrage mob is going to be involved, but as long as you have a ringleader or someone you can point to distinctively and say, hey, look, this person basically fucked my life over. This is the problem you run into with this type of litigation on social media, is you need to have like a Monica Rial or a Mars Girl or a Mark Wade. You need someone that you can directly hold accountable to the actions and be able to prove that, yes, this person's actions screwed you over. Which is why the outrage mob has been effective up until this point.
Well, what about something like an email like Tim Pool was providing, saying that they are directly going to places like Chase Bank? I believe Chase Bank was where this email was addressed to, and attacking their livelihoods. I have the right to bank. I'm sorry. In today's modern age, if you don't have the right to even get a prepaid credit card, a Visa card, even if it's prepaid and you load it, how can you even pay your bills? Now you're telling me I can't have an electric company. Without an electric company, CSD will show up and take my kids. Electricity never used to be vital to the world, but now I guess if you don't have electricity, you're a piece of shit, and they can take your children. They are attacking these people on all fronts.
Well, and I'm not sure what code of law that would fall under. I don't think it would be tortious interference, because that's tortious interference is essentially a third party interfering between a business deal between two consenting parties and causing that business deal to fall through, therefore directly affecting your livelihood, as opposed to going after your ability to, say, pay utilities. I think that's on the it would be on the utility company that would be violating what is it?
Well, it's a contract. Yeah, when you sign up for it, it's a contract that they'll supply you the under these payments and this system payment, blah blah blah, all the boring bullshit, and that you pay us that rates at specific times, this, that, the other thing. Then it's all the fine print mumbo jumbo, and I guarantee you that all through all of that shit, nowhere does it ever fucking say that some YouTuber can come along and tell us to shut off your power because you or that cunt doesn't like you.
Well, and I don't think that falls under tortious interference, but I do think there is something within the legal. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. Rikita Law would be much better to ask, or even ask Candid. But there is a law somewhere. I don't remember the code or what it exactly says. But at that point, the utility provider would be overstepping their bounds and
no shit
denying you service based on political reasons, which is illegal.
Well, it's straight up breach of contract for a start, because there's, like I said, there's nowhere in the contract that says that some fucking YouTuber can come along and, you know, bat his fucking eyelids and then they'll just shut the other cunt's power off. If that's in fact the fucking case, well then it's flat out breach of contract. And this cunt can sue them.
At that point, then they're a genie.
Hmm?
No,
Well,
if they can blink their eyes and do a little nod and cause things to happen, then you're genie.
Yeah.
God damn it, memes.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking yeah. So at that point, they could sue the shit out of them. But yeah, where it's breach of contract, if they turn around and do say, oh well, this YouTuber did turn around and say blah blah. Well, fucking, you know, show me in the contract where you're gonna do it. Oh, can't.
Okay, but here's the thing also. Because they were attacking the Proud Boys. That is pretty much a fraternal organization. It's a group of individuals coming together. It's a club. So if they could shut down entire clubs, these guys are not going out to neo-Nazi rallies. That's not what they ever did. The Proud Boys did not do that. I believe they have been slandered. And I believe that the fact that their payment processors have dropped them is actually an unfair disadvantage to the individual within the group, not just the group in itself.
Well, one of the issues you run into is Enrique Tario or something. Sorry to cut you off, Doku. But I believe whoever is the current proprietor after Gavin stepped down, the thing is, okay, they deplatform his 1776 or whatnot website where they're selling merchandise. Okay, that's a business choosing not to associate with another business. Where you really start to get into murky territory is when they then removed his personal bank account as well. And to be fair, Mad, when I did go to that free speech event where there were Proud Boys there was at least one individual after reviewing other footage from that did identify as a National Socialist. So you got to be fair and accurate.
Well,
Okay,
real quick before you go, Mad Dodge. Mad Dodge, before you go, hold on. The best thing that could happen, and this might be wishful thinking, but considering everything that's gone on with the adpocalypse, the outrage mobs, this nonsense going on with Vice, you have a few players who, you know, distinct key kingpin type of players. The best thing is wait and see what happens with Meyer versus Wade, and then see what happens with Mignogna versus Monica Real, Mars Girl, Jamie, whatever the fuck her last name is, and Funimation. Those two cases will set precedent, and if that's favorable for Vic and for Richard, that means the law is on our side. At that point, the best thing that can happen is everybody who's been negatively affected by this have documentation of what happened and get a class action lawsuit going. That would be the ideal thing to do, because that's going to give you the most weight in court and the better chance of being able to actually win it.
And if there is any YouTubers or anybody that's been affected by this directly and you can prove it, I would encourage you to get in contact with YouTuber Law, as he has already been trying to do a class action in this regard since the previous adpocalypse, right? So this is somebody
it's not actually class
already
action.
doing it pro bono.
It's a complaint for Patreon for what happened to Subscribestar. It's an FTC complaint. It's not an actual class action lawsuit.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
why I'm saying. That's
Thank
why I
you
said.
for clarifying.
That's why I said wait to see what happens with Richard C. Meyer versus Mark Wade, and then what happens with the Vic Mignogna lawsuit, which Ty Beard and Rikita and people like Yellow Flash, Umbrella Guy, Hero Hay have been covering very closely.
But also memes. Doesn't YouTuber Law have a Discord where he is actively working on this complaint?
A Discord server exists. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Okay. So
and one other thing real quick, Mad Dodge. You can the easiest thing to do now would be to file a complaint, because it's not like you can sue the entirety of Twitter. Like, you need to have somebody that you can actually be able to serve papers to and actually bring them to a court of law. Otherwise, you might as well just scream at the sky.
Didn't the White House set up a website or something for this?
They did.
Well, no, and okay. Melissa says you can tell when Dodge glances at chat. His voice sounds kind of nervous, but kind of wants to laugh, and he is trying to stay focused. You're not wrong, Melissa. You're not wrong.
Either way, to answer the question, and as a non-lawyer, the easiest way I can without going into great detail and making myself sound like an idiot, because again, I'm not a lawyer. We're entering into a very interesting time with how social media can directly affect people's lives, from banking to being able to do business deals to being able to pay for water, like have clean water, have electricity, have internet, all things that are essentially required to live any kind of normal life outside of a frickin' stick mud hut somewhere in fucking Africa. There's not really a precedent set for this type of outrage mob, court of public opinion bullshit.
Well, real quick, on the behalf of my panel, I would like to apologize to Africa. I understand that not everybody lives in mud huts. We understand that, and we apologize on behalf.
Okay, fine, Malaysia.
And to be fair, actually, that Natural Science or something. That video with a dude actually makes the mud huts and like the bricks and stuff. I think that's an excellent channel, and thank you for apologizing.
Well, I've been trying to stay on top of all the apologies. It's kind of hard. I offend somebody every 30 seconds, it seems. So, it's hard to keep up.
Didn't you know apologizing is not enough?
No.
I
It's
know.
times
I need
like
to
this.
pay reparations. I know.
No, Mad. It's times like this where I turn to the wisdom of the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. Hurt no one, so no one shall hurt you.
What was that?
When did he say that? Did that come before or after the fact that he married a 7-year-old?
That was his final sermon. I actually learned this from Sargon.
Memes. What'd you say? Bloody, the Prophet Muhammad, penis be upon him. Go fuck himself and stick it up his bum. Dirty snake cunt.
Well, Matt, it's been nice having monetization on your channel.
Oh shit! Whoops! Sorry, Dodge.
Well, I'm looking, and the super chat symbol is still there. So we're okay.
Give it like 30 seconds to update.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, memes. I appreciate it.
There's a lot of channels that are currently getting demonetized.
Okay, so on behalf of Mad Dodge Productions, I do not necessarily endorse the viewpoints expressed by the panel in any way, shape, or form, especially those expressed from our Australian call center operator. I'm not sure your title. I apologize for not knowing your title. That's probably almost as bad as misgendering you, so I'm sorry. By the way, did you dodge any drop bears on the way to the call center tonight?
Oh no. Yesterday was fun.
But no, all jokes aside, I mean, really, the outrage culture is making us have to apologize for everything. That's why I did the play on Crowder's I'm sorry video. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Why? Because it is current. And the context matters. And the fact that you have to apologize for jokes when this is the same country that has the First Amendment, the same country that spawned the careers of people like John Belushi, Robin Williams, Chris Rock. Need I go on? Just because you have a dissenting opinion does not necessarily mean you need to be silenced. Matter of fact, I say amplify your crappy opinion so we can challenge it in the realm of ideals.
Ideals or ideas?
In Japanese, Chris Rock sounds like this Chris Lock.
Wait, are you talking about John Loki again?
Oh, fuck's sake. Dumb shit. Would you fucking listen? Chris.
Okay.
Chris-
$5 super chat from Brian the Observer. Boston sucks. Go. Do I have to? Fuck. Okay.
Yes, you do. Suck my dick.
All right. Boston sucks. Go Yankees. And I hate that you just made me say that. I really, really do.
We have a certain saying up here in Boston about the Yankees. I shall not say it for to help Mad Dodge's case for monetization.
Oh, and I'm a Dodger fan, man. The Yankees have been calling the Dodgers a bunch of bums since the 20s. You know what I mean? Like, that was hard to say.
If you were to stack up World Series trophies, what would it look like?
You're being a dick again, memes.
I am a dick. It's my middle name.
Oh, as a real baseball fan, that was really hard to say. Doku, $5 super chat. Oh God. Okay, this 5 is my reparations, and I apologize on behalf of all goats. Oh, goats? Yeah, goats harmed by furries and off-brand fetishes, regardless of country of origin. Hashtag tolerance. Jesse Miller, what's up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Tema, I took away a few people's wrenches last night that weren't around very often, which is why. That way, when Jensen comes back, he can do his job properly and moderate. As we're getting bigger, I'm trying to let the moderators actually have the power. If you would like, have Carl write again, and I'll throw him the wrench. I mean, you have a wrench also. It's fine. But I did remove a few wrenches last night. So that's what happened.
Wait, do I need to apologize for having a sense of humor?
You need to apologize to all of Goat Kind. And I happen to know a person around in chats. His name's Goatman, and he was on my side last night on a stream. And I think Goatman would be very offended by your comment. So you better apologize to Goatman.
I apologize to all of our hoofed four-legged fuzzy friends. Go in peace.
What? Are you looking at my cat?
Oh no, I would never do such a thing.
Why not? He's a pretty kitty.
Oh, never mind. Low-hanging fruit. It's beneath me.
You don't like black cats?
Oh, by the way, it
I
is
have a black
4:20 on the West Coast. Smoke them if you got them.
Tim, I apologize for my apologies. I'm sorry. I'm deeply regretful
I
that I
think you're
offended you.
triggering Tema. You may wish to cease and desist.
I do not intend to trigger anybody. I'm deeply regretful and sorry for my bigoted and short-sighted ways. I apologize with the utmost sincerity.
Well, I mean,
I will repent and say 57 Hail Marys.
You are a straight white male, and that is problematic, isn't it?
I apologize for my cis white male heterosexual ways. I'll try to be a better ally in the future.
To be fair, I think Doku is actually slightly curious.
I'm only curious about the length of my apologies and whether or not they'll be accepted by the greater and more superior non-hetero cis white male
and
community.
Since we're apologizing to Tema, I need to apologize again for telling her she is not allowed on the show without a low-cut shirt. That was very insensitive, although still valid and true. Hi, Tema. That was the timing.
I'm sure I missed something while I was joining, but that was one hell of an apology list. My God, how many man cards are being turned in today? Are we having adequatectomy procedures today? I mean, what the fuck is this, young men, gentlemen? How come I'm the one that's
for,
refusing to apologize? Hi, me.
I thought the Hillman was the only person that was able to take away people's man cards. He's a local radio station
Holy
DJ.
shit.
Pause real quick for $5 in the chat. Brian the Observer. Mad Dodge, do you want to take one or this, or are you burnt out yet? Do I need to apologize if I want to read it?
No, I'll read it. Brian, your server $5. I threw a party when Ted Kennedy died. Oh fuck! Not because he's a globalist dirtbag, but because he's from Massachusetts.
Hey, the man he was the lion of the Senate. As an individual that currently looks a little lion-like, I should take offense to that.
No,
It's
and that's
okay.
what
I'll
I'm gonna bring
apologize
up.
on
I'm
his
like,
behalf
holy
for you.
shit, memes. Why are you the only man on the face of the planet that shaves the beard during the winter and grows it back as it's headed towards fucking July? What is wrong with you?
What?
He's planning on moving to Australia.
No, I work in New Hampshire, man. Got to fit in.
So that's like being in Oregon. Everybody has a beard.
Hey, I may or may not resemble that remark.
Hey, let's not hate on the follically challenged here. It's like we're all people.
Yeah, there's a reason Farty keeps calling me Keemstar.
Hey, you know what? Hashtag bald lives matter. Fuck if I know. What the hell?
Wait, Mad Dog, did you just call yourself a gnome? I think Mad Dog just called
Is
himself
your
a
name
gnome.
David?
Oh god, is
No.
this gonna be like a running thing now?
Yes.
We're all like turning on our
Actually,
fucking cameras
no.
and shit?
You know, I've said it on air before, so I don't really care. But my name's Chris. That's almost as generic as David. I mean, it's almost as fucking bad, right?
Hold on. I need to ask Tema a question there.
Yes.
Tema, do you identify as Marge Simpson?
No.
Okay.
No, you know why? Because
What?
this has a bow on it. And it
Oh.
doesn't bend.
Oh, it's a hairnet. That's the coolest hairnet I've ever seen.
I use it in the shower or when I'm working and stuff because my hair is really, really, really long and heavy. And it gets into everything. Everything.
Yeah,
So-
my mustache does that sometimes. I have to
Uh-huh.
trim it.
Oh, dude, you know what? I was reading an article one time. This was a few months back, and it's like, if you're a beer drinker and you have a mustache and beard, did you know that a good 20% of your beer is actually just going to your mustache and not being ingested? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm shaving my mustache. Like, I'm not wasting that much beer. It's not okay.
Wait, are you telling me that I need to shave if I want to continue to get
Yeah,
more drunk?
we're losing beer, man. This is an issue.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Or you just drink your beer correctly.
We don't drink from cups, all right? We're
We're not cup drinkers here.
around here.
Well, if it's a bottle, then you don't have anything to worry about. It sounds like this guy registered or geared his own how much he wastes on his beard, and he's a fucking drunkard and can't drink when he gets drunk and dumps it down his fucking face.
Probably right. I think it was a New York Times article or the
Okay,
Orzo.
obviously, yeah.
One
So
or the
there's no reality to that. That's this slovenly fucking pig trying to project his own disgustingness onto the rest of maleldom.
The rest of
Mailed him?
mandom.
I don't know. I'm coming up with my own words today. Fuck you.
As a trans woman who hasn't yet had the fucking the sod-on doodle, who's trying to drink it through her ass and she keeps missing the hole. The lips that she's talking about aren't the lips you're thinking of.
La 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 la.
Oh,
La, la, la,
guys,
la, la,
guys.
la.
Hey, do you like my groundhog?
Phone. I
That-
see.
that- Groundhog.
Yeah, I missed it. That's a groundhog. That's an adorable.
It's a groundhog that lives under my shed. It's looking at me with curious eyes right now. I think it's slightly afraid.
It doesn't have. You
Does
might
it have
wanna be
rabies?
first,
Probably
dude.
afraid of.
Antivirus.
Probably
is
afraid of
more
your
likely
fucking
than
beard.
rabies. No, he's afraid of memes.
No, it lives in coexistence
Just
with
in
the skunk
general.
under the shed.
Memes. No, it's the eagle on meme shirt. That's what he's afraid of.
Hey, it's a river hawk. We need to clarify.
Okay, well, he's
Oh,
afraid
a
of the
river
river hawk on your shirt.
Oh,
Oh,
he just
no
went back
shit.
in his hole.
See?
Here's something. Just because
Your shirt's here.
we're doing a super long stream anyway, so we're going to talk about random bullshit. Tema, you've lived in a few different places in the country. Did you ever see a fucking giant ass nutria like that we have here in Oregon? Because I never saw them in California. Like these things are fucking giant.
What are they? Say it again. Nutria.
A nutria. Yeah.
I'd have to see what it is. I might know it by another name.
Oh.
How do I spell that?
These things are crazy. All right.
Dude, it's like a big rodent. Nutria,
Yeah,
also
it is.
called koipu, are varied eaters, most fond of aquatic plants and roots. They also feast on small creatures such as snails or mussels. Reproduction. Nutria can be rather social animals and sometimes live in large colonies, reproducing prolifically. Sounds like a big hamster.
You sound way too excited about this.
They
Dude, I
kind of
learned
look like
something
a capybara.
No, they're
yes, it's a mini
crazy.
capybara.
No, I swear to God, there was one of these fuckers like 3 feet tall, fucking shot out across the bike path when I was riding my bike one day. Shit was fucked. And look at the teeth on this monster. Fuck this guy.
Okay, it's like a beaver that doesn't make a dam mixed with a capybara.
Well, no. Here's a quick question. Like the capybara, does it make a sound when it roars, going, "Bwah"?
No, it has a tail like a rat. Fuck that.
Yeah,
That's
these things are evil.
unnerving. That's very unnerving. Why is that so funny? That's just... It has a tail like a rat. That's not okay, guys.
Whatever.
It's your reaction.
It's like a
it's your reaction. That's
combination
funny.
of things that are not okay.
Is it
No,
poisonous? Because
No,
all I know
it's
is
just I like rats, and I don't want something that has terrible orange teeth and probably destroys a lot of crops.
no. It's
Yeah,
simply because it's
no.
lack of dental care. We
Lack
need
of
to help
dental
these
care.
creatures.
No, we don't, because even socialized medicine doesn't help with bad dental or bad oral hygiene.
I mean, it
Japan-
could help.
And the UK have proven that.
We need to save the rat-tailed beavers.
Okay,
we do.
all
We
right.
rat-tailed
I
beavers.
gotta
Save
read
the
this
rat-tailed
off.
beavers.
I gotta read this off because it's
Oh,
funny.
shit, they are ROUSs, guys. I'm sorry.
Zero Cool in the chat says, "How the hell did you get Sherardi's driver's ID?" I'm sorry, Sherardi. I had to read that off. That's too funny.
That's bad.
Don't, be,
Battle goes silent.
be kind. Be kind. My gopher is trying. It's currently mowing my lawn for me.
That's what you tell yourself, memes. Keep convincing yourself.
No, he's eating grass right now. He's so adorable.
Memes is living at harmony with nature. Apparently,
Is he
he's a
okay?
druid. Memes is a druid.
That's a withered, not a druid.
Fair enough. I won't argue. I'm not going to argue with you.
Why?
I concede. I respect the Whammons.
Oh God!
Liar. Come on.
I don't know what you're
Jesus
talking
said
about.
women all need to be chained to the stove and barefoot and pregnant, didn't he?
At least I didn't ask him to make me
No.
a sandwich like you, frickin' heathen.
He turned into Tom P all of a sudden. What the fuck, man?
Hey, repeal the 19th. Just saying.
Don't apologize for it either.
I have memes face palming. I feel like I need to apologize right now.
Tama, you do realize that I think your video on Tom's channel is his most highly viewed video.
I know it is. And my most highly viewed video is me calling Tonka an N-word.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good old Donka.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Doku.
You offended Doku.
And
Look what you did.
I know. Probably because I didn't use the actual word.
Yeah, he would have been more okay with that, right? But no, before you joined, it was perfect timing, Tema. I was just apologizing for telling you, even though it's true. because it is, that you're not allowed on stream here unless you have a low cut shirt. So I was apologizing for being a misogynist
Oh,
pig.
Fuck Google Hangouts.
fuck
Goddamn
Google
Google
Hangouts.
Hangouts.
Yeah,
And no, and it was great because I was like spitting out the end of that, and then you jumped in, and I'm just like, oh fucking hell.
Oh no, it wanted to crash because Google, they
Oh.
can't fix any of their bullshit. They're just
I
just
think-
I
busy
thought it's
fucking
because we were
around.
getting a little algorithmic slap for being politically incorrect.
I figured Doku's face broke Google, but maybe I'm the asshole. now.
Hey, no, let's moderate our language. We have a hamster in the chat. We must be nice. Hi, James.
James, come on in. Come on. Of course, I'm still hanging out with these guys. Who else would I hang out with? Nobody else will let me talk shit and say bad words and not tell me to go away.
Yeah, because we love being demonetized around here. What's up, James? Hey, man. We hit 1,500 subscribers here on Mad Dodge Productions, and we are celebrating. I'm in for the long haul. We're gonna see how long I make it. If you would like to join, let me know, and I could send you the link. I might even throw it out in the chat, maybe. I'm kind of adverse to trolls lately.
You've been dropping that Hangout link in the chat a lot. Just stop it. Shoo.
Oh shit! I just realized my camera was on. Well,
No. We all know if you're going to post a link, you post it on the Twitters, because that's
spotters?
obviously.
Dude,
Yeah.
oh my God, you have no idea how many times at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll be scrolling through Twitter and I know exactly who's drunk and streaming because there's Hangout links just dropping all over Twitter and getting deleted right away later. It's
Hey,
hilarious.
will you stop talking about me like that?
Awesome.
I think you should keep it up. Keep talking.
So I shouldn't post a link on Twitter.
On the Twatters.
2 hours later.
Okay. Here's something I've been thinking about for a while, and I
Oh
brought
God,
up.
Matt's been thinking we're in
But-
trouble. Sawdust is burning.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is half of YouTubers alcoholics? And
Just
hey,
you,
I have
Matt.
a beer open next to me right now, so I'm not one to judge. I'm just saying, dog.
No, Matt, it's just you. You're the only drunk on the internet. Are you serious? It's just you're just now noticing this.
Well, in that case,
Well, no, and why is that? Is it the alcohol helps us be more social and be able to put ourselves out there? Is it just because we like to drink?
No.
What is it?
The alcohol helps you deal with the bullshit that is the internet. Let's be honest. Spend enough time with fucking idiots on the internet, you're going to be driven to drink.
Dude, I've been on the internet since 1992.
Well, that's why you drink, smoke, and I don't know. Do you do cocaine yet? Maybe
No,
crack a little bit.
I've
No?
been smoking weed since 1988, though. So we really wouldn't know.
Oh, that's the year my brother
That's
was
fair
born.
enough.
Holy shit! You've been smoking weed since I was like 4 years old,
Since I was 11. Yeah.
and now
have it?
you feel old. I apologize.
No, actually, yeah, no, I have a very strange life story. So yeah, no, it doesn't make me feel old. It's kind of like I'm like, oh,
Well, at
No,
least she
and,
hasn't been
James-
snorting ammonia
James in the
yet.
chat,
Oh, God.
James in the chat says, at Mad Dodge, congratulations on the 1,500 subs, bro. You deserve it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've put more work into this than, I did my CNC job when I worked there. You know what I mean? So, fuck. I'm glad to finally see it kind of, grow. I'm happy.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you're growing too. I was afraid you weren't gonna. Things were getting weird there for a little bit.
Well, it's all right. They banned and demonetized a whole bunch of other stuff. So inherently, since we're on the bottom, we're slowly working our way to the top before we get smited down.
I do, Melissa. You get used to it. Farty is the only one here that's older than me in this panel. When MC is here, he's older than me, but they like to try to do the fucking silly Temba's a boomer things because they don't like the fact that I have more random information in my head than they're comfortable with. It's okay, honey. They like to poke.
Well,
Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
There's a bad
you're wearing
joke I could
a
make.
bad shirt, and I totally wasn't staring at your chest. I
I know,
just
totally
noticed
not,
you
right?
were Grateful Dead. So props on the shirt. I like that.
I've had the shirt longer than I've had a couple of my kids.
Oh, thank you, James. You're so kind. He likes my beard. It feels good.
Yeah, no, we got Jez in the chat also. He's going under his other channel name, Digital Pollution. Congrats, dude. He says, thank you. Hey guys, you guys are the ones watching. All right. You know, I might be shoving the content out there and talking my head off and being an idiot half the time, but you guys are the ones fucking watching it. So thank you guys. Seriously.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
A little bit of both. You know how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah, don't blame us for being around. You fucking watched us.
What?
It's a
Damn.
personal choice.
Memes, are you just here to fuck me over? No, I'm kidding. No.
Oh, there are many
Oh,
other ways
hi,
than that.
MC. I didn't see MC was in the chat. Hey, MC. How's it going? Sorry. I'm being obtuse today. I'm
MC is working. Zero is hailing Hydra. Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on right now. Oh, and more people are joining. What the heck is wrong with everyone? Oh my god. This is dangerous. We're getting more and more people watching us. We're going to pop up on a radar.
Yeah, how dare us actually have an audience? That's horrible, you know, because that's not what I'm trying for.
What's your topic for today anyway, Matt? I totally forgot to look at what you were supposed to be
we're just celebrating the 1,500 subscribers. If you have a news story you want to bring up, you have the floor, Tema.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Having a topic.
Let's talk about that Vox story and get completely demonetized and shut down.
Which Vox story?
The one that fucking
Oh,
the gamer one, where the writers fucking suing the gamer or getting him shut down or whatever the fuck, kicked off fucking YouTube.
This could be any number of people at this point in time. That's not enough information to go off of.
The latest one.
I don't even feel like keeping up anymore.
Fuck if I know. I'm not really a gamer.
I don't even know. I don't know anymore. I don't care. Like,
Actually, this is
Vox
weird.
not trying to get shut down.
Tema, I was just trying to hit the 3 little dots in the chat, right, to give Carl the wrench back. It only pops up with go to channel. Like, I tried like 3 times. I'll try again, but this is weird because it always pops up with add wrench and all that. Yeah, it just says go to channel. Weird.
Have your little $sign disappeared?
Nope. That's still there.
Oh, all right. So James Maxwell, by the way, one of my oldest YouTube friends at Mad Dodge Productions. Congrats, brother. At MC. MC sucks though. He's an arsehole. Ha ha ha. Shots fired, MC. You gonna drop a rock on him? You gonna put up with that shit? You know.
I don't know. I thought MC was more busy dropping truth bombs on Africa, telling them to stop trying to grow crops in the fucking desert because it's sand and a desert.
God, the Sam Tennyson bit he did.
That was fucking awesome, dude. I still
See,
refresh.
I support
refresh the
MC.
page.
We need to help increase immigration.
You support MC. We need to help increase the immigration. Is that what you said?
Well, the whole point was rather than sending food to people that are starving, why don't we just move them to where the food is? We got a lot of food over here.
I don't wanna.
You don't wanna, but that's what the sketch was about.
I don't wanna. That's not what the sketch was about. The sketch was about telling people living in the desert to stop trying to grow food in the desert.
Hey, Brian the Observer, thank you. I refreshed and it did pop up. So I appreciate that. It must have just been YouTube glitching out. So thanks for the advice. It worked. Appreciate it. No, and here's something Styx has been talking about and harping on that not a lot of other people have really been bringing up. The Ebola crisis in the Congo, the Republic of Congo. I know there are two different Congos now, which is kind of confusing to those of us, that don't live in a shithole country. Oops, I said it. I apologize, Congo. I'm sorry.
I do not apologize. I rescind that apology. Congo, fix your shit. Sorry.
But this Ebola crisis and the fact that you have groups of people, armed individuals, raiding hospital places where these Ebola patients are, killing the doctors, the nurses. They're screwing themselves over, aren't they? And Styx seems to be the only one harping on it. Not CNN, not Tim Pool, not even me. This is the first I've even brought it up.
Wasn't there a case of Ebola?
A little bit more.
Wasn't there a case of Ebola in Texas?
He was a doctor.
Actually,
he was a doctor.
Right?
Yeah, that was a few years ago. And he was a doctor that was working with Doctors Without Borders in the Congo. And he had come back and he started showing symptoms and he had Ebola, but they quarantined him and there was never any other cases. At least no documented or reported publicly cases, I guess we should say.
So more or less, most people aren't going to care until it actually might affect them.
Well, okay. Part of the problem is it's the Congo. It's the Republic of Congo. I'm 41 years old and I can't remember a time where the Congo hasn't been a place that we've talked about being dangerous and bad. So, I mean,
a lot of people care about it because that's where we get cobalt from. I mean, if that's the only reason people care about it, that's kind of sad. Because it's still people.
Well, yes, but it's a place that we've been trying to fix for 50 years and it's not getting any better.
Why exactly is it our job to fix it? Why isn't it their job? Nobody came over here to the United States and fixed the quote-unquote Native American, or at that time they would have said Indian problem. Did they? The United States fixed it themselves.
Think about what you're saying.
Think about what? Think about the westward expansion, the fact that we're an industrialized country, the fact that the majority of the population is better off now than they were when they were running around in teepees with wild horses that they didn't even have because they hunted into extinction.
We're getting angry about mean words said over the internet. We're doxing people. Americans are killing Americans.
I am not doxing anybody.
Yes, but I'm not going to die if I step on the wrong stick when I'm out for a walk.
Well, I mean, that's modern healthcare.
How could you
am I wrong? Are we not more industrialized? We are a first world country, and we have left this country better off than we found it when we immigrated here. Yes or no?
Are people overall happier?
Yes.
Yes.
Really? People seem to be going nutty bananas nowadays.
Okay, what? Wait. What? We're talking about okay, our country was founded by Puritans. Memes?
Well, there were Pilgrims and Puritans. Yes, I realize Boston was founded by Puritans,
Holy
and now
crap.
we're the Commonwealth.
Yes, and then there's also another group of people called Acadians. And what does their origin mythos look like? Somebody it might not be the Acadians, but something like that. Their creator god vomited the world into existence. Okay.
Well, I thought that was one of the ones. You're thinking of Marduk. Marduk was the multi-eyed thing. Professor Peterson goes into that, and then he slew, I think, Tiamat.
Okay, well, whatever. But you know what I'm
from her pieces.
Yeah, but vomited it. Okay, vomited the world into existence. Come on now, dude. People have been making crazy fucking stupid ideas and theories about stuff and going cuckoo nutty bananas since the beginning of time. We've been figuring out how to take drugs and change the nature of our brains since we figured out how to make our fingers do what we wanted them to.
Ooh, actually, Cybacillin just got passed in Oakland.
Exactly. I'm just, but we've always been looking for a head change. Just like this is just normal human behavior. This isn't anything different.
Carl's like, yeah, the Earth was created after a frat party. What a fucked up mythos. I'm like, is it really though? Is it really? Is that not a potential universe that we may live in? Maybe not this time around, but I don't know.
This sounds like something out of a Douglas Adams book, doesn't it? Sneeze the world into existence.
Hey, whatever. Wasn't that part of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes, the worst named trilogy of all time with its 5 books.
Oh, wait, the Hitchhiker's Guide or the other thingy?
No, the series of books is called. He used to joke and call it the worst named trilogy in the world, or the worst named trilogy of all time, because there's 5 books in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. Oh. He said that in all of his promos for it, all of his interviews, every time he talked about it, yes, I call it the worst named trilogy of all time.
How did it do?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Quite possibly one of the most popular modern science fiction series of all time in probably the last over the last, I think, 60 years or something. It has some great thing. It's very successful. Why?
Oh, I see what he did there.
Here's the thing.
I'm stoned. Why do you keep asking me questions that take a long time for me to answer? I'm stoned. It's mean.
Okay, Meme.
I'm sorry.
Here's another question. Let's not look at the United States of America then. Let's look at Great Britain. All right. Let's look at the fact that the Roman invasion still has long-lasting effects. London was created by the Romans.
Actually, man, London was not created by the Romans. London was a village that had existed there for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years before that. It was created by the Picts.
It was taken over and it was built up by the Romans, though. You had a conquering of Britain and a change in culture after the Roman invasion, especially with the Norman invasion, right? William the Conqueror, that was a thing.
I don't know.
Or am I wrong?
I wasn't there.
Conqueror didn't exist. That wasn't a thing. You didn't have the court of England speaking French for 200 or 300 years instead of English. That didn't happen, right?
What are we talking about?
What I'm talking about is what I'm talking about is the conquering and the taking of territory is not necessarily a bad thing, and a lot of times it could lead to a industrial buildup and a civilizing effect upon the people there. Maybe some people do deserve to be conquered, just maybe.
So who gets to decide that? I don't know. Are you worth conquering?
The one with the bigger gun, I would suppose.
You got a super chat there, Mad.
Yeah, I see that super chat. Can I read it? Can I read it for you, Mad? Can I? Okay, I will. Fine. Brian the Observer, thank you very much for the $5. What do you call a ball player traded away from Boston? A saved soul.
We'll talk in October.
Yeah, I think that one was directed at memes.
I'm noticing a slight trend here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reaching for straws here.
A little bit of a trend. Do your beard hairs tickle a little bit? Do you feel the wind changing?
It actually feels excellent right now, dude. It's starting to cool down a little bit. There's some humidity in the air. My hands don't crack when I make a fist. I'll take it.
You're lucky, man. It's been pouring down rain half the damn day. The electrician that was out has to come back out again in like a week because it was pouring down rain and he couldn't check the outside outlets and shit. Like, seriously, he's like, I would just wrap everything up today, but I don't feel like getting electrocuted.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Hey, are you kink shaming me?
Yes.
Oh, you need to apologize for that.
Oh, fuck you! I don't apologize.
Hey, no, let's clarify. It depends on the amperage.
Oh,
That's true. That's true.
I like the
And
warm, fizzy
thanks.
kind.
I was checking on the kids when you guys just read that super chat from Brian the Observer. So thank you guys. And thank you, Brian. Man, that's awesome. I think that's like the third super chat he's done tonight. Dude,
He has clarified he doesn't hate me. He just hates Massachusetts. Brian, I must respond to that because, as we all know, the spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. Home of the red, white, and blue. I made up that last part, I think.
Yeah, and Texas would tell you to fuck yourself.
Well, Texas is the balls of America.
Come on.
So what does that
sorry,
make Oregon?
what now? What about Texas?
No, it's the Texas is the balls of
memes
America.
going,
It is.
Massachusetts is the spirit of America, and I'm like, yeah, Texas would tell you to fuck yourself.
No, Massachusetts is the middle finger of America.
But what does that make Oregon then?
We don't talk about Oregon.
Chin, the bearded chin.
Hey, will you stop making fun of me? It's not very nice.
Carl has a beard too, you dipshit. What the fuck?
No, he's feeling follically oppressed.
But okay, well, you know what? So what? Pound bald lives matter too. But fuck, dude, if you're feeling that insecure, just have your wife rub your head and kiss you and tell you you're a pretty boy. It'll be fine.
Oh,
Wow,
Melissa is
Melissa.
attacking you in the chat, memes. Memes, turn your camera off. I don't like your beard. That's
Wow, I see how it is.
Memes is adorable.
See. What we don't actually know is, I guess Melissa's actually a furry, aka scaly. She prefers my dragon persona more.
But you want to know what Oregonians call Oregon? We call it the left coast. I mean, we lump Oregon in with Washington and California.
That's
the whole
why-
left coast is the same.
It's the bearded chin. But I don't know. Oregon is a hell of a lot cooler than Washington. I'm not going to lie. The culture is way more outgoing. Washington is, well, okay, everything in the sound. I don't know about the rest of Washington because it's like impossible to get out of the sound once you go into the sound. But Oregon is way more open and relaxed. It's much more like Northern California, and nobody really gives a shit.
But what sound does it make?
Oh, God damn it, memes. You want me to answer that? This is the answer. Quack, quack, quack.
No, that's an insult to ducks.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
know.
Mighty Ducks. Yes, I love that show, and especially if it has Howard.
Joe, no, it's a football team. Well, we only count the football and basketball teams. The rest,
I thought it was a hockey team.
But no, the Oregon Ducks. We're funded by Uncle Phil Knight and Nike, so that's why we get all the cool shit. And OSU hates us.
Wait, who hates who?
Oregon State University hates the University of Oregon because of the money influx from Phil Knight and Nike. Come on. I mean,
Yeah, probably, except like this area is really weird compared to the rest of Oregon. It's really strange. So like I go to anywhere else in Oregon, even in Salem, I'm like, wow, this is a very white area. Wow, there's not a whole lot of difference between the color skin. It's pretty, like, and everybody's kind of dressed the same. It's like, holy shit, that's a fuck ton of vests and flannel shirts. Now you come up to the greater Portland area, I can sit in my garage on certain days and read news stories or whatever in my garage, and I'll sit there for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and I won't hear a word of English.
well, no, and Tema, you
It's
drive
so
up the
weird.
highway. You drive up the highway towards my house. You'll see at least 10 Confederate flags, all out, flying. They don't give a fuck. You go to Portland and you're driving a pickup with a Confederate flag on the back. Chances are you're going to get harassed. The the difference between the Cascades, that I think that's the boundary. It's the Cascades and East that is totally different. When you get down into the valley or into the PDX area, Portland is a fucking cesspool. Fuck Portland. Unless my wife drags me there for one of my son's appointments, I don't fucking go. I don't like Portland. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't like going into Portland, and it's not because Portland is particularly unpleasant, because there's some really good food and neat shit there. But I don't like going because it's crowded, parking sucks, and if you don't have the right stickers on your car, somebody's going to vandalize it. And I already have a Who is John Galt sticker on my car. I don't need, and you know what I mean? I'm not taking my car into town, no. And I don't like big cities. I'll go in for like a day or two. Bye, Doku. Doku ran away again. Doku keeps leaving. He's rude. No, I'm just kidding. Doku's actually awesome. He's good people. But no, I don't like it. I don't like it up here. Like, okay, I like the scenery. It's very pretty and stuff. The weather's very wonderful and everything. Everybody's laid back, but I don't like how crowded it is. There's just too many fucking people. It's like half the state's population is up here in the PDX area. It's just too many fucking people.
Well, no, and if I wanted a 5-mile trip to take an hour and a half, I'd still live in Baldwin fucking Park. All right.
Oh god, Baldwin Park is fucking awful, dude.
Yeah, no, my aunt, she's visited 4 times in the last year and a half. You know why? Because she hates it. She has my grandma's house, which I'm jealous of. I wanted the house. But it's in Baldwin Park. She's miserable. She wants to move to Oregon.
Yes.
Now, you know
California
how Oregonians
fucking
are.
sucks.
If you're from California, turn around and go home. We even have that sign on the highway. I mean, like, that's a real thing, guys. Like, I can look at that sign and show you guys.
If you try to act like a Californian up here, you will not be tolerated. If you come in and you're a Californian that acts like an Oregonian, they don't care. But if you act like a Californian, they will not tolerate you outside of PDX. Just your shit is not acceptable.
Well, yeah, no, and seriously, try and drive to Dornbecker's Hospital at 3:30 in the afternoon.
No.
I dare you. Just try it.
No. Don't try to drive anywhere in the greater PDX area between the hours of 2 and 7.
Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, Portland is not LA. It's not.
Okay, so I'm getting kind of like it's better than LA. It's way better than LA. You're kidding yourself if you think that's as bad as LA. It's nowhere near. Now, Aunt Jack says, "Don't let Callies into your state." This is a warning from a Georgian. Now, I want to say this isn't necessarily true, because what's happening in California right now is you have a whole lot of middle-class people leaving Cali, and because they can't afford to live there anymore, and they're mostly conservative people. So you got to remember, the ones that are from like LA and stuff, they're crazy. But if they're from like Rohnert Park or, Caliente or Topanga Pass or something like that, from some small rural non-Danville or some small town out in the middle of nowhere, California, they are going to be just as redneck as the next redneck you come across in Georgia. And just as Christian. Just so you know, guys.
Well, and Melissa said, born and raised in Cali, I don't give a fuck. Fair enough. I loved going to Chavez Ravine and seeing Dodger games. I loved being able to go to Hollywood and find any album that I fucking wanted, any fucking, rock t-shirt I can even dream of. You can find that shit in Hollywood. But then again, I don't like it taking an hour to drive to In-N-Out. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking ridiculous.
Can't you just do all those things on the internet now?
That is true. I am talking about when I was younger. Last time I was in Cali was 2002 was the last time I was down in California. I went to Nevada a couple years ago and won a bunch of money in the casino. That was fun. I went and worked out in the Puget Sound on one of the islands in Washington. That was, hey, I was working for a rich guy and I made a fucking shit ton of money for a week. That was a good job. But do I want to live on the Puget Sound? No. Do I want to fucking go to Cali? Other than a Dodger game? No, I don't. The only reason I'm going to go is my college, my university. I'm doing it online, but it is based in San Diego. So I will travel to San Diego, take the kids to California, show them Hollywood and stuff, and go walk and get my diploma. Considering it's costing me $19,000 a year for 3 years, yeah, I would like to walk and get my damn diploma handed.
We might want to reconsider taking him to Hollywood.
So Matt, all I know is when you started off that story and you were saying, back when I was a young man, all I was thinking of was,
Why, when he was a young warthog.
When I was a young warthog.
You're welcome.
Yeah, fair enough. I got no rebuttal to that. No, and Zero Cool, I'm gonna check my DMs. It's hard to do when I'm running the show and everything else, but yeah, I
send me a message, Cyril. I got
repeatedly messaging in the chat. I will try and check. Let's hope I don't crash everything. But yeah, we've hit the normal 2-hour mark, but guess what, guys? We're gonna keep going. So Tema, you lived in California, you lived in Texas, Washington, Oregon now. What's the difference in cultures from state to state?
Well, I can tell you the West Coast, there's a really big difference on how you make friends between the West Coast and the South. I'm going to tell you right now. West Coasters, we're used to taking our time to get to know people. We hang out and talk, and we'll say, oh, yeah, you're my friend, but that's not like a real, a close kinship or anything. In the South, somebody says they're your friend. That's it. They meet and you all get along once. It's that usually extends into everything else. In California and Washington, less so in Oregon, people are very passive aggressive. Oregon is less so that way in some ways, but in California and Washington, if people don't like you, you won't know. They won't tell you. It's not often that you'll find somebody that'll actually show you open disdain or a dislike for you. Now you go to Texas, you're going to know. And yeah, I mean,
that seems odd to me because, yeah, I grew up in Oregon from around 9 years old on. I went, to school here, high school, all that. I still, though, if I don't fucking like you, you're going to know it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call you a cunt and tell you to fuck yourself. But then again, my mom was born in Blytheville, Arkansas. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. I was raised, by my mother. So I was raised from her perspective.
Well, yeah, okay. And I'm going to say California, I don't think people really realize this. California it's Northern and Southern California and even Central California. They all have their own very distinctive culture. You can tell somebody who's from Santa Barbara County. You can tell a native. They act different. They talk different. They walk different. It's like from the Central Coast, LA. If you're from the Central Coast and you meet somebody from LA or San Diego, they're from Southern California. Northern California people, we much more associate with rural hard work and farming and stuff in California. It's a very, very diverse state, like culturally too, within itself as California. It's because it's so fucking big.
Yeah, and you have this idea of Cascadia, the separation movement. There's also the Free State of Jefferson, which is in Northern California, where it's going along the same lines. You have people actually wanting to secede.
Oh, they've been wanting to secede since I was in high school. In California, they've been wanting to split California up since I was in high school. Seriously.
Yeah, and I'm trying to load Twitter, Zero Cool, so bear with me, buddy.
Oh, I already sent it to him. He'll be on in a second.
Okay, memes, you were trying to say something. Go ahead. And full disclosure, some people might get upset that Zero Cool is coming on. We're doing a 24-hour live stream. Zero Cool's been nothing
shit.
nice to me. He did have some remarks about Cabby that some of my panelists do not appreciate. Please come to me, and you guys would know who you are. Come to me and talk to me. I'm not trying to cause any drama. We're running for 24 hours here, guys. I need some help.
Yeah, and about 16, we'll be hearing Mad Zing again.
Well, if that's the case, I've got things I've got to go do because I have a show tonight. Tonight is the Cream Stream. My sister from another mother is going to be on, Prospero. So I've got to go read articles to figure out what we're doing. It's 5 o'clock. Plus, I have to go. I have to go poke children with sharp sticks.
Prospero's a girl? Oh my god, I've been misgendering her the whole time.
I know. I thought Prospero was a guy too. Holy shit.
No, she's just as thick-skinned and smarmy and intelligent and
My apologies for assuming gender.
like she'd care. She might give you some shit for it, but you know. But anyway, no, I'm
thank
sorry,
you,
unfortunately.
Emma. And yeah, actually, in 2 days is my interview with Irate. So I'm looking forward to that on Sunday. That'll be fun.
So are you legit doing a 24-hour stream, man?
I'm gonna try. We'll see. I have 2 of the kids home, so I probably won't make it the whole time. But yeah, I'm giving it a shot. I said I would. We hit 1,500 a day after I said I would, and I was like, "Fuck, I messed up." So here we are.
Okay. Well, you have fun trying to set that goal. I'll try to come back and help when I can, and you know, just remember that syphilis is always starts with just a little kiss.
Thank you for those lovely parting words.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Zero? How have you been, man?
I've been fine. I don't go by that name anymore.
Yeah, well, I feel weird calling you by your real name.
I don't really give a shit. Well, take what I'm about to say not too seriously. I don't really care if people know what my first name is. That's fine. You know, it's just the way it is, man. You know, it's not necessarily rebranding. It's just I don't really feel like going by that old name.
Then I will respect your
You
wishes.
can call me Zero all you want. It doesn't bother me that people call me that. I mean, that's how they want to call me that. That's fine. You know, they understand. That's fine. It's no big deal. I just choose not to use that as my screen name. There's a difference.
I just
Before you jumped on. I did give a short disclaimer because of the Cabby comments and the drama that unfolded from that. But we're not going to dwell on that. You're
Actually,
here.
let's address that right quick. People, you need to grow up. You need to understand that people can be adversaries and respect each other. Cabbage and I were adversaries, and I respected him a great deal. But when I say he wasn't my friend, it's because I didn't know the man outside of the internet. That doesn't mean I didn't like the guy. He was good at what he did. He could banter. He was witty, and he did bring up very good points to counter and make you think and have a better conversation. We were adversarial towards each other, and were you here right now, he would tell you the same thing, and then he'd call me a cunt and tell me to piss off. I would expect nothing less from that man. He's one of the few people that I genuinely respected having a combative conversation with because he could handle it. So don't lay any problems at Mad Dodge's door. You got beef, you come to me. That's all I'm going to say on that. Also,
All right.
congratulations on your 1,500.
No, thank you very much, and I appreciate you addressing the elephant in the room, and we will move on because you don't talk politics; you enjoy pop culture. So,
I actually don't mind politics. It's just a lot of the times I think other people have always said it better. So it's kind of like I don't really have anything new to add, and some things just continually get beaten to the ground in regards to the topic. So, of course, what do you say? You know?
Yeah,
I thought you just
absolutely.
rehashed
And-
the old. You just rehashed the old same thing that everyone else has said.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's kind of what I do. Let's be honest. But speaking of rehashing what everybody else has said, Zero Cool, you're on the outside looking in on this Vox adpocalypse situation.
Fucking God.
Any thoughts at all before I ask you about the Batwoman trailer? Because that's what I was.
Oh God, here we go. I think Carlos Maza is a little bitch. I will say this to his face if he ever comes to Iowa, and when he props up the idea that he speaks for everybody in the LGBTQ community, saying that he's offended or this person should be deplatformed or just because he doesn't like Steven Crowder or whatever. I am more than happy to tell him to F off because he does not speak for my kid. My daughter likes Steven Crowder because he thinks that Steven Crowder's funny. And my daughter is not conservative. She's not libertarian. She is a Democrat. But she does not like the ideology of the left to censor everything because she grew up knowing that without opposing views, you cannot have a conversation and make genuine progress. To have many things fall flat on their face to get one or two good ideas that will always be solid in their, from the ground up and actually work. You have to have it. She doesn't like the guy. She called me and she says, "Dad, that guy from Vox, he's expletive deleted." And I said, "Wow, you must be really nice." She goes, "Yeah, we're hearing about it all the way over here, and we don't appreciate it." And I said, "Oh." She goes, "So yeah, if you're ever on Twitter, if you ever want to say something public, feel free to speak for me since I have to actually have a real job and defend our country, unlike that little fruitcake." And I said, "Okay." And for the people who don't know out there, my daughter is openly gay. That's part of who she is, and she's my kid, and I love her. That's all there is to it. Who is eating? Who is eating?
I'm guessing his party. He's the only one that wasn't muted. But no, I'm actually kind of interested. First off, your daughter has great taste in humor because Crowder is funny. Crowder is hilarious.
That really sounded like you were trying to pick your words there. Your daughter really has great sense of yeah.
And I was trying to pick my words. Yeah, I was trying to also cover up you eating chips. How about you not do that? But anyway.
Yeah. Pass, pat, puff, puff, give, motherfucker. If you're gonna be eating chips, pass them over.
Yeah. Share with the whole class, brother.
Hang on. Here we go.
Num 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 num.
But no, it's interesting though because Crowder is rather opinionated on what he talks about, even though he's coming at it from a humor sense, point of view. He's trying to be funny. I get that, but he is pushing an agenda, and it's kind of the same agenda I have. So I agree with him. What you're saying is she doesn't, but she still likes the comedy, right?
Yeah, she likes his presentation. She does not always agree with him. In fact, 95% of the time, she does not agree with him, and that's okay. But she likes his presentation. She thinks he's entertaining. And I said, well, if you don't like and she's never met him, so she can't see she doesn't like him as a person. I said, well, what don't you like about it? She goes, well, I just don't think he's seeing both sides of the situation. And I said, okay. And she has watched a lot of his rebuttal videos, and she says, that actually makes sense. So she votes how she votes, and she says what she says. That's, she has the right to have her own opinion. And I'm not going to tell my daughter otherwise because she would never come up to me and say, Dad, you can't like, whatever over here. And I'd be like, I'm one of the two people who brought you into this planet, regardless of your military training. I'll take you out. And if it's not me, it's going to be your grandparents. That old thing of, I brought you into the world, blah, blah, blah. And, but she likes his energy. She finds his comedic timing to be great. She just thinks he's energetic and and she loved Not Gay Jared. And she actually says, I wish Not Gay Jared was still on the show. And I said, well, it is what it is. But that's what she likes about the guy. She likes his energy. She likes that he's animated and that when it comes to breaking stuff down, even if she doesn't agree, it's always he's breaking stuff down. He doesn't make it personal. A lot of people have that problem. They make everything personal. And I sleep so well at night because ultimately at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. And it's not because I don't care. It's just I can say whatever I'm going to say, but it doesn't mean I can change anybody's mind. It's you have a conversation, it happens, you take away what you want from it, which means sometimes everything, sometimes certain things, and sometimes absolutely nothing. And it is what it is, but don't lose sleep over what somebody else thinks a lot of the time. And that's what it is.
Well, no, and that's a fair point. But when you debate, like, okay, you and I, let's say we're having a debate about abortion. It doesn't matter who is on which side. That's not the point here.
When was the last time we actually had a debate about anything that didn't end up with me saying Boston Red Sox?
Yeah, I know, right? But no,
I support these debates.
That's not even the point. It doesn't matter who would side on which side. The point is, though, I'm not trying to change your mind. I already know what side you fall on because you're coming to this battle with your own weapons already. But I am trying to change Memes' mind. I am trying to change Melissa's mind in the chat. I am trying to change Farty's mind. You get what I'm saying, right?
Change my mind about what?
No,
not sharing those chips, motherfucker.
When it comes to any type of debate, though, that's what you're trying to do is change the crowd's mind. You're not trying to change who you're debating because that's not going to work, obviously.
Well, I've Memes. I think you and I have had one or two debates, and we've never gotten personal. We've always tried to bring something to the table, and it was really you had your opinion and your train of thought, and I had my own opinion and train of thought, and that was pretty much it. And what I've taken away, the thing that I took away from it is, oh, hey, here's a guy that I can actually talk to. We're not always going to agree. We can agree to disagree, but I respect the fact that he brings something to the table and he doesn't make it personal.
You should have a nice debate.
So.
Well, no, and going back to the
you two cunts are no fun.
Going back to the Crowder situation. What you have is weaponized outrage mobs, pretty much, right? And this is going to affect everybody. Crowder wasn't wrong when he came out and said to me, because he did. He said, all small YouTube content creators, this is not about me versus Vox. This is about all of us. He's not wrong.
No, in fact, I was watching a video today. Linkara, whose real name is Lewis Lohog, who's from Minnesota. He does Atop the Fourth Wall, and he's had a long-running series called History of Power Rangers. And he put so much effort into it. Whether you like the guy or not, that's not my business, but he really puts effort into it because he does a critique of the entire series so far, at least from the American side. And he's always been on the level playing field about it. He said, this is what's good. He said, this is what it's about. This is what's good. This is what's bad. This is what's bad. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And here's what, you can take away from it. Well, I was asking him, I said, why don't you put stuff on BitChute? And he automatically, first thing he goes into is the monetization of videos. And I said, okay, that's fair enough. But why don't since you have your own website for Atop the Fourth Wall, why don't you, I said straight out, why don't you host the unedited version that you want behind a paywall? So if you feel you should get paid for your efforts, which I believe he should because he did put the work into it, go ahead and do that and then leave the edited version up on YouTube since Saban, Bandai, and Toei are giving him shit thanks to YouTube's content ID policy changing faster than Mystique in a battlefield simulation against the X-Men. And because he says, well, I don't put stuff on BitChute because I don't make money. So that's fine, I get that, but why don't you, again, to reiterate, put the unedited stuff that matches the old stuff. That was the complete, thorough presentation that had all the clips that you wanted, all the synopsis that you wanted, without editing it, and put it behind a paywall and BitChute. So you still make money from that, and then show whatever on YouTube, and you still get the hits there with the ads. He has yet to respond to me, but that's kind of one of the things that I was thinking of. And it's like, he's a lot bigger than you. He's a lot bigger than Gamer Thumb TV, who I love that guy. He's great. But are you taking a nap there?
Oh no, I'm still here.
No, I meant
usually when I cut you off, you get pissed. So I'm letting you ramble.
No, I'm talking about our Australian friend who sounds like he's breathing through a Darth Vader mask.
Oh, okay. But no, I want to read the chat real quick, and I apologize.
So finishing off, that's pretty much what I think of the whole situation. I think everybody's getting the middle finger because YouTube consistently changes stuff. And it discourages a lot of people who have good ideas from making videos. So YouTube has become the antithesis of what the original creators wanted to do. And that's it. So
yeah. Go ahead, Farty. You haven't talked in a while. I'll go for it.
Sorry, I was yawning.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm going to read the chat. Laszlo, the instigator, says, Carlos Mazza and Ian Shar are trash. I tend to agree. You also have Aunt Jack, and that's right. I will continue to say Aunt Jack instead of Ain't Jack. All right, that's just the way it is, buddy. They're going after everyone who is angry at them. What they're doing is the death throes of Vox. Vox is going down, people. So is CNN. CNN shut down its London branch. CNN bought people out and then laid more off. These firms are crashing right now, real time. And you're seeing the rise of the YouTube political pundits, the rise of the gamers, the rise of, all sorts of different groups. And you're seeing the mainstays, the mainstream media lashing back because they are in their death throes.
Yeah, it's like Styx Hexenhammer has said a while back. He said, this is, to paraphrase, it's basically all these smaller people over here are taking all of the shares that the bigger TV stations used to have, and they're gonna start fighting back. And the thing is, this whole thing with Mazza and Cher and Vox, they're pulling this crap after getting a massive donation by YouTube, and that YouTube is being investigated by the United States federal government for an antitrust violation. And I think the government needs to do that to Disney too, by the way. So this is not a conspiracy theory. There's no coincidence to this. That's one of the reasons. So if there's something going on one side, you say, hey, look over there, and it's like, Biff, what the hell is that? And everybody, including Biff, looks over there, and you punch one right on his square on his face. That's exactly what's going on, because YouTube is getting looked at by the U.S. government for antitrust violation.
Shit.
Yeah, no, and you're not wrong. But if you look at, all right, if they did this to me, I can't fight back. There's nothing I could do. I have 420
and honestly,
followers.
What have you done that would deserve the rebuke? Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Hell, one of the better things that I have ever seen on your channel is when you and MC would talk about the Civil War. I'm sure there are people that do that kind of stuff, but honestly, I haven't really given a shit about the Civil War since the old days when Ken Burns had the PBS documentary and it was on video cassette.
No, and actually, thank you for that, because that's that and the World War I series that we are now currently doing are just pet projects of mine. I'm going to college right now for a history major. I love history. If I could help somebody learn a little bit, then I would like to. And it's just a pet project. It gets the lowest views on anything on my channel. Exiled Opinions, multi-streams through their channel and mine, and they get more views than my Civil War series did per video. It's just a pet project. It's something I like to do. But you saw the purging when it happened 24 hours ago. You saw 3 or 4 different history channels. People that other history teachers would play these videos in their classroom for 9th grade history being shut down.
Yeah.
This is not good, guys.
It's like I said, and I've said this multiple times. It's going to come to a point where YouTube's going to scrub the entire platform, and everything's going to go bye-bye because they can't afford to have it anymore. And then they're going to resurrect it in a completely corrupt and perverted version of what it's intended to be. And either people are still going, and people are still going to watch, and the rest of us are going to go somewhere else. And then people say, well, BitChute's not nothing right now. I said, I remember when Blip TV was giving YouTube a run for their money until they bought them out. That's exactly what's going to happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, there better be fucking restore. Like when they shut down and then restart, they better be fucking restoring every cunt's videos, or else no bastards going near him.
Well, yeah, no, and real quick,
That's a good point, Marty.
Laszlo in the chat says, I have a master's in history, and I found out that many people do not care about post-American Revolution America. First off, I'm going for my bachelor's, and if you already have a master's in history, if you would like to join the World War I stream, man, I'm going to drop my Discord link in the chat. Feel free to join the Discord. And I could use some more panelists tonight if you want to come on and just talk. So I'm going to drop both the Discord link and the Hangout link down in the chat for you. And go ahead, Zero. I cut you off.
If hang on, go back to where he said just before he said he dropped his Discord link.
Who, me or him?
Yeah, Dodge.
What, did I break up?
Yeah. Oh, I heard nothing.
I heard you, but I think you may have broke it up on Farty's end.
Oh, what I was saying is, Laszlo, I'm dropping like right now. There is the Discord link, and I'm gonna drop the Hangout link for you if you would like to join. This celebration stream, and I could use some more panelists. So
just before that, he says something, and if I don't, I'll drop the Discord link.
Well, that's what he said. He was asking the guy to come on who has a master's in history to come on and rap a little bit about post-American or post-revolutionary America or whatever. Because I think you were saying, Mad Dodge, people don't have an interest in that. Well, it's
was it supposed to sound like a challenge?
No, he was actually inviting him to come on as a guest speaker.
No, he's in the chat. If you're watching the chat, you know what I was talking about. Sorry I broke up on your end. And I realize I have background noise, guys. All of you that have been around for a while.
Nobody's noticing that. We're used to it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Everybody that's been around for a while is used to it, but we have, 200 and something new viewers. Yeah. I do apologize about the kids, but I'm a dad. What do you expect? I'm sorry.
No, fucking just the way you sounded as you were reading it. It sounded like you were going to say something else when it come around to say you drop your Discord link. It's like sort of like, and if I don't, I'll drop mine. I'm thinking he's gonna drop his dick. Discord, what the fuck? He's just gonna say dick, not Discord.
Discord. There you go. He's dropping his Discord.
Okay. I'm moving on. Well, and that's kind of the fact here, though, is it's not just Crowder being attacked. If it was just him, like it was just Alex Jones, things would be a lot different. But it's all of us.
Do you know what? The real thing of this is? Carlos Maza was being spoofed, lampooned by Crowder. And it does not surprise me that Carlos Maza is pulling the gay card during quote-unquote Pride Month. Carlos Maza, you do not speak for every member of the LGBTQ. You sure as hell don't speak for my daughter, so knock your bullshit off. If you ever want to come to Davenport, Iowa and go get in the ring with me, bring it. I'll have my kid knock your ass out. She's military and you're just a little sissy. And by the way, that is not reflective of this channel. That's just reflective of his host or his guest, me and me alone.
Yeah, you
Well,
won't be
no,
mindful about asking the poof
almost
to
went
get in the
full
ring with you.
Tonka there, though. So watch out. You don't want to ever go full Tonka.
Yeah,
No, I
you
said
know,
my daughter would do it. She'd be glad to knock his ass out. She doesn't like the guy. She basically says, I don't want people speaking for me because I can speak for myself. Because anytime anybody ever speaks for me in regards to my orientation, they invalidate everything I've ever accomplished and struggled for. And I would agree with her. That's like basically having anybody say to basically, well, let's just Frederick Douglass. You know, if Frederick Douglass was alive and he did what he lived way past what he did back in the 1800s, and people were speaking for him, he'd be like, hey guys, I'm the one who lived through this. I can speak for myself here. I don't, this is great. You want to, back me up here, but I don't need you speaking for me.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And you have, well, no, I'm not going to take the bait. You brought up Frederick Douglass, so I was going to bring up the Virginia Flaggers and go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to take the bait.
But it's the similar idea of one person who identifies as being openly gay, thinking they can speak for the entire movement, or people who also identify as on a certain level part of their as part of their person for being openly gay. That's not how it works.
What exactly gives them the idea that they can do that? I'm a married man. Does that mean I can speak for all married men? No,
it'd be the equivalent to think that you could speak for, like, I don't know how long you and your wife have been married, but there are people who can't even hold it that long. It would be for you saying, well, I think I'm confident enough in my abilities to be a husband that when I say this and this, that all people should do, should be able to do that. Or I speak for all men that have lasted this long in a marriage because we do this thing right and we do it this way. And it's kind of like, well, you only have the capability of speaking for yourself. I don't have the capability of speaking for anybody but me. Now, my daughter being my daughter, when I get permission from her to say, Dad, I don't really like, this guy being a jackass, go blast him on Twitter. Okay, sweetie. She can't do that because, one, she doesn't have a Twitter account, and two, the military would watch that shit.
The worst part about it, though, is that the way a lot of these people suck about a lot of these things, it's they talk like, oh, well, I'm carrying on for single amputees of their left leg because I've got a leg injury. And then you go, okay, you find out what's your injury, and you go, oh, I stubbed my toe on the fucking the footpath 6 weeks ago, and it's a little boo boo. So what the fuck, cunt?
No, exactly. I broke my leg, and I'd been gimping for a long time, and I got some metal put in there. And I had a guy who was sitting in a wheelchair at the gym saying, hey, what happened to you? I was like, oh, I fell on ice and broke my leg. He goes, yeah, I get that. And I said, yeah, you do, don't you? He goes, yeah, man, trust me. It's, it's not a pretty, and he told me what happened to him. And so he emphasized, he didn't sympathy, and he didn't have false sympathy. And I think not only virtue signaling, but a mass amount of false sympathy and pride and ego go into when you virtue signal you say you do it for everybody else. But he emphasized with the fact that I had a leg injury. And I said, yeah, you do get it, don't you? And he goes, yeah, I feel your pain because I've been there, done that. And, and so, yeah, I appreciate that you emphasize and don't, try to speak for me or say how I feel or anything like that. And that's one of the bigger problems that humanity has as a whole is we overcompensate for whatever reason in regards to solving issues by saying we think we can speak for a person because we sympathize with them instead of emphasize. You can understand what a person's going through, but the second that you think you can relate because you have something similar happen to you, or you think you can relate because you know what that person feels, it's not the same thing. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way because that's the fastest way to piss a person off. And it's all about wording. So what Carlos Maza is doing is basically saying, I'm butthurt by Steven Crowder. I don't get a sense of humor. I don't like him simply because he's a conservative. and this is where it all stems from. Not to mention that Carlos Maza has his tweets up that basically say, yes, I condone, I call for an action to be taken to assault people with milkshakes. And everybody's like, yeah, milkshakes. No, dipshit. When you throw stuff at people, regardless of what it is, that's technically an assault and battery charge, at least in America, because you have the intent to cause harm. I'm sorry to tell you this.
Well, and you have a point, and the fact that you are encouraging people to cause harm is incitement to riot. In some instances, is it not?
Exactly, and yet his tweet is still up. Yet he had YouTube and Twitter kowtow to his needs and pretty much get Crowder in the trouble that he's in. Well, that's why Crowder has a lawyer. I've seen what Bill Richmond can do, and Bill Richmond has slapped YouTube around quite a bit. So I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm going to wait for. I'm still waiting for Crowder to do an update saying, yeah, we slapped YouTube around. Not in those exact words, but Bill Richmond's not an idiot. Bill Richmond has defeated YouTube, and it'll happen again.
Just real quick, getting back onto the throwing milkshakes on people and stuff like that. With what has happened with acid attacks and things like that on the rise, you will find that throwing liquids on people, especially with the intent to cause fear, would come under some local terrorist acts nowadays.
Yeah, that's also very true. And another thing is, if you actually throw something at a person and they beat your ass and you say, well, I was just kidding, most local law enforcement is going to arrest, and at least in Iowa, both of you would get arrested, and it would be for the judge to mete out the punishment, which in a lot of cases is, oh, you started it, you finished it, you're both going to jail for 60 days, and I'm fining you on top of that. There's getting to be the point law enforcement, they don't give a shit. They don't have to. They don't got time for this crap. And when Carlos Maza says, yeah, Antifa did, or a bunch of didn't do nothings, what he's failing to understand, because he's a virtue signaling hack, is there are a lot of us that will put Antifa members under the ground. Because when you violate our personal space and you have the intent to harm or maim or possibly kill, the human body and the instincts of a human being are to either fight, flight, or fight. They usually say fight or flight, but there's three of them. It's either fight, you flee, and I can't remember what the third one is, but you get the idea. There's always going to be an action and opposite to the react. There's a reaction to the opposite of equal reaction. There's what's basically a consequence or an outcome. And it's not the same as when two people goof around or they have a food fight at a school, which they get butthurt about that these days too. It's not the same thing. So,
Well, no, and what's weird too is you just brought up, food fights, and that's something so freaking stupid nobody cares about. But the fact is they freak out over a food fight. But in my high school, we had senior skip day.
Mm-hmm.
It was right towards the end of the year. Every senior would just not show up to school. That's okay. I mean, what the hell?
Before you go further, it's the flight, fight, or freeze response, which is basically you retaliate, you run like hell, or you freeze like there's a bear standing over you and you don't want to piss yourself. A flight, fight, or freeze response. So you either fight back, you run like hell, or you take the punches. And a lot of people are getting to the point of fighting as opposed to freezing or flight.
And it's like the same argument with it's okay to punch a Nazi. No, it's not. That's still assault. You fight bad ideas with better ideas. You don't fight it with your fists. And if we're going to immediately go to that, then let's just bring back dueling. I have a few people I wouldn't mind dueling.
You remember what happened? That little dipshit that Roundhouse kicked the gal that was talking to him, and he goes, "Oh, I meant to hit the phone." Yeah, one you didn't. Two, it didn't matter. He not only got found by the police, but he lost his job. That's the power of social media, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate because it's a double-edged sword. And that the second that he did that and he couldn't hack it, he decided to get pissy about it and prove that he was a badass. Well, Billy Badass became somebody's bitch in jail in the long run. That's the thing that these people don't think about. You know, if you're a member of Antifa or, which, by the way, the United States government has classified Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, so you're fucked either way. But the second that you do that and somebody bitch slaps you back, or the police hit you with the pepper balls, which is always a good video to go look up, don't be going home crying to mama, because your parents, regardless of what generation they are, they're going to say, we're not going to pay for your ass. You know, you fucked up. People are getting tired of it, in short. And this is what Carlos Maza is refusing to accept, because he's sitting in his ivory tower that's all rainbow painted, and it ain't Lucky Charms. And he thinks he has protection by Vox. Well, when the advertisers who give money to Vox realize that their products aren't being sold because of this shit, sooner or later down the road, Maza is going to get fired. Then he's going to cry like a little bitch about it, and then Vox is going to turn on him and devour him. That's exactly how the cycle goes.
Yeah, no, and you're not wrong. And Melissa in the chat said the Tri-City areas still have senior skip day. No, and it gets even worse than that. I was doing a Red Eye show about, 5 months ago? 6 months ago, after David, you know who, that resembles a pink animal. He orchestrated this school walkout thing over gun control, right? I was on air talking about how I'm glad my kids go to a charter school and that they won't be participating in this type of nonsense. You know, my oldest son came home and told me he walked out of school. The teachers sent them out. He knew I would be pissed. He did it anyway because of peer pressure from his teachers. His teachers are telling him, you know, the students, to walk out of school over an issue that happened on the other side of the country, over a crazy person who wasn't reported to anybody and could have passed the background check. What more gun control do you really want, unless you're talking about taking my gun?
And look at it, give or take roughly a year later, Broward County is now getting its ass handed to it on a legal platter. Former Sheriff Scott Israel is next on the chopping block, and he knows it.
What would they do?
He's let's see, there was that douchebag at the school who didn't do anything. And then basically Sheriff Israel comes out and basically decried the situation. Yeah. So
that last one.
And I think Kyle Khrushchev was one of the students that survived that. He basically said that David Hogg quit being a bitch, not in those exact words, but said, hey, look, this is how it could have been handled. You've all failed us. Well, I believe the guy's name is Kyle Khrushchev or something or other like that. He was basically pointing this out on Twitter. That said, yeah, remember when this happened? Well, this is the effect of it almost a year later. The dominoes are now falling, and it's going to start with this guy, and it's going to go to this guy, this guy, this guy. And the governor of Florida has already said for Israel, you're fucking fired. And the people are speaking down there. So they don't want to deal with this crap. This isn't politics. This is a reality check. This is, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And people would be lucky to have my dad as their dad, because you'd punish yourself and he'd never have to spank your ass. And that's even worse, because you'd learn a lesson in the long run of what not to do. But yeah, whatever.
Well, no, and that brings up another point. It seems to me that when the government started to try and take control of how people raise their children, that children started shooting up schools. Am I wrong there? Is that a wrong association?
I don't know. My daughter was graduated by the time 2013 came around, and she is, you know, she's in the Air Force. So I think the point of the matter is, it's how the parents deal with the situations of their children. A lot of Gen X parents either are single, divorced, and they're letting their parents raise the kid and basically getting stripped of parental authority, or they've got parents who were shit parents in the first place.
That's not necessarily true, though.
No, that's a broad
I
generalization.
come
That's
from-
how some people see it. It's not fact.
I
I'm
come
stating
from
an opinion.
Well, I come from a Catholic background. I was on my own at 16. I did grow up hard. I went through some shit. But I am happily married. I have full custody of all my children. I get paid child support, not the other way around. Now, I'm a rare case when it comes to men. I get that. But the fact remains, I handled my shit, and I was on my own and homeless at 16. Dude, I sold weed for 10 years. All right? That's a career, homie. I mean, come on.
Well, then you reiterate one of the points I was making. It's you learned what not to do. But ultimately it comes down.
Yeah.
But ultimately it comes down to parents have to grow a pair of testicles and ovaries and do the adulting whether they like it or not. I don't know how many people remember, but back in the mid 1990s, it was like the 30th anniversary of Woodstock, and I said to myself, why the fuck do you guys want to live 30 years in the past? The hippie generation sucked ass. I have yet to be proven right, by the way. Near 20 to 30 years later on that.
Yeah, the hippie generation fucked this country too, and they were sitting there with that stupid fucking grin on their face at the time, and it's sort of like, oh, now they're wondering why it's all fucked up in their retirement's trying to be fucking taken away from them. It's like, yes, because you tried to vote Labor, asshole, again.
Yeah. So really, I don't consider anything we've talked about political. I think what we've been talking about is actual fact. It's real life situations that people go through every day. Whether there are political connotations to it or not, maybe not. But when you have people with great power and zero responsibility, then you wonder why things don't get done. And alphabet agencies need to pretty much be consolidated and or destroyed. DHS needs to go fuck itself. But on the flip side to that, DHS wouldn't exist if people actually knew how to adult and be parents like they're supposed to.
Well, yes and no.
That's why I said it's two sides of a coin. It's not everything, works the way you think it does. You can see it as if this one is, it's not a straight, and I'm simply saying one is not a straight cause and effect correlation.
Yeah.
You can view it as such. That doesn't mean what I'm saying is 100% right.
Yeah, no, and you have a point, but let's look at it this way. There is a misallocation of resources going on with CPS/DHS. It's called DHS.
Yeah.
But Child Protective Services. There is a misallocation of services. You get 2 phone calls, and a worker will come out to your house. How many workers are going to people's houses that their neighbors just don't like them? A lot. How many times does the opposite happen where somebody is obviously abusing their kid, but their neighbors do like them and they don't call? You're having the resources go in the wrong direction.
Well, how many times do they actually go to a place where the kid's been abused and the neighbors don't like them and because of it, and the services don't refuse to go out because, well, you obviously don't like this person, so you're just fucking pranking us, aren't you? No. This kid's really been having a shit kicked out of him, can't you hear? Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, no, Farty, you make a good point. It actually does work both ways. You have people that are shit parents literally abusing their kids on every part of the power and dominance wheel, which people should look that up, and the power wheel. And if you don't know what that is, I suggest you go look it up. It pretty much describes what not to do in a relationship with your significant other, your spouse, or your husband, or your wife. It's called the power and control wheel. But they do that with their kids because they know they can, and that kids are very malleable up to a certain point, and they'll believe anything you say. And nobody reports it because it's all, smiles and apple pie and everything, whatever cliche you want to use in public, and nobody notices. And then there are people who are complete jackhats that don't like somebody because they are jealous of what that other person has achieved in life. And so they think that their kid's being abused, which is not always the case. And they call DHS or the cops on them. And it's kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting our time with this shit?
Yeah, okay.
And then it makes it infinitely worse for the state to handle because they don't have the resources to sort this shit out because it's a contrived mess of garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Sorry I tried to cut you off there. I do, I am sorry for that. But no, okay, this is what I'm saying. All right. This is anecdotal, right? It happened to me. It doesn't happen to everybody. Okay, I got with my wife. Her ex didn't like me. Obviously, I was fucking his ex-girlfriend. And then I married her. I put a ring on it. How dare I? He called the cops so many times to do a wellness child check that the cops answered the phone and go, "We were there already. We're not going back. You call us again and we're going to arrest you." This is how many times this guy fucking did it. I had the cops at my house every other day, dude. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we had a case back in the 90s where our version of the Department of Social Welfare or whatever the fuck you call it, we call it Department of Social Security or Social Services, they were told hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times by several of the neighbours of this place. When they finally went out to investigate it, they so where's the kid? They go, what kid? They go, the kid that you'd supposedly been beating the shit out of. What kid? Oh, we've seen you with this kid. What kid? And then no, you're not coming in, get fucked, not without a warrant. All right. So they came back with a bloody warrant. Then they found the kid. He was in the bottom of one of the wardrobes, tucked away in a shoebox. He'd been dead. He's been dead for about a week or two. And they'd found cigarette burns on him. They'd fucking bruises, lacerations, broken bones. They'd broken just about half the bones in his body. There's several dozen internal injuries from fucking blunt force trauma, like fucking punching and kicking and this, that, and the other thing. There was head trauma from blunt force trauma, and they think that this kid was thrown across a room into a brick wall, face first, because his face was all smashed up internally, and he had contusions and shit like that from a forward stop, fucking sudden stop injury. So even if the kid survived, at that point he would have been basically a vegetable. Anyway, fucking, it's kind of, just think fucking with what happened to this kid, you'd think fucking, oh shit, you should have died earlier, mate. It would have been humane for you. And you wouldn't have to put up with the rest of it. Yeah, so it's kind of lucky the kid did cark it, because, well, fucking wouldn't have liked the rest of his life being a vegetable and all that shit. Imagine that, not being able to get out of the nightmare. I don't know
Well, and the fact is, though, we had cases like that in the United States to where DHS has shown up on 3 or 4 separate occasions and found nothing wrong. And turns out these children were being abused. And then one of them dies. And then there's outrage. Oh, well, thanks for the outrage after the child's already dead. I'm sure the parents, well, no, the parents were the fucking abusers. So, I'm sure the child appreciates that.
Oh, yeah,
thanks.
yeah. It was the same thing with this one. The parents were were abusing the kid. But the scandal was that it came out that they were told several dozen times to go out and have a look at this kid while he was still alive, after he'd broken a few bones and got a few visible bruises and shit like that. Because he had old healing breaks as well, and they hadn't been treated properly. They had been immobilized and cast up and shit like that. So this has been going on for a fair while, and the services have been told to go and have a look, get the kid out of there, and they finally did when the kid was dead, and they're like, "Well, where the fuck were you before, you cunt?"
Well, yeah, no, and that's the inherent problem. When you're putting your resources in places where they're not needed. When you're investigating parents that aren't doing anything wrong, that might just be I don't know, being stern parents and teaching their children discipline. Last I checked, military school is still a thing for a reason, right?
Well, yeah, since they got rid of the cane,
And I don't know how to say your name correctly, man, but go ahead and try talking. I heard you try, and it was breaking up a little bit. Let's see if it's working now.
Oh, it's working. Arakin.
Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to the show. This is your first time here. Welcome. We're a bunch of assholes. Get used to it. But other than that, this is a free speech platform.
Who are you calling an asshole, buttface?
Myself mainly, but I guess I'm throwing you into it now. Fuck you.
I'm not an arsehole.
Is that what it is?
I'm not an arsehole. I'm a cunt. Get it right.
There you go.
Well, speaking of assholes, are you related to the assholes without borders?
Assholes without borders? Is that what you just said?
Yep.
That's awesome. I like that. I'm making that into a t-shirt now, so thank you.
Meme that shit right there.
Well, because there is a group out there that is calling themselves assholes without borders.
Oh, you mean they already monetized it? Damn it.
I believe they call themselves Democrats.
No. I believe they are more libertarians than Democrats.
Oh, throwing blows already. All right. What's up? I'm the resident libertarian.
Nice.
Hmm?
Okay, so Mad Dodge, you wanted to talk about Batwoman.
Actually, yeah, I do want your thoughts on the Batwoman trailer. And dude, it wasn't bad until the part in the trailer where she goes, "That suit's perfect when it fits a woman." I'm like, fuck you. I'm done.
All right. Here's my take on pretty much all modern respect the whammons culture, the get woke, get broke shit. I don't care. I don't buy stuff anymore. I pirate it left, right, and center, and I don't give a shit.
Actually, to be honest,
Batwoman, when Batwoman was in the Arrowverse crossover, a lot of people did not like the fact that Ruby Rose was portraying Batwoman, and I said, and I purge my tweets every 500 tweets. I have said I want Ruby Rose to get a shot because I think she can do it. And whether you like the Arrowverse or not, she was fine as Batwoman. She stuck to what Kate Kane was originally, a person who took up the Bat mantle. Now, she was not even remotely Bruce's cousin in the comics, regardless of what anybody says.
Was she Lizzo?
Yeah, she's always been lesbian. And
Okay.
that's the way she was. That was how her character was created, and that's fine.
Hey, real quick, Zero. Sorry to cut you off and continue on. Guys, I gotta step away for a second and check on the twins. They're being too quiet in their bedroom.
Right, quick. Yeah, talk about things starting with N.
I know, right? The kids are quiet. So when I believe it was the Crisis on Earth X crossover with the Flash, Supergirl, and Arrow, I thought it was fine. I thought Batwoman was a fine character. you can love or not like you, whatever you think about the Arrow versus your issue, your thing to deal with, and that's just the way it is. I thought she was fine. I said, wow, she actually, with the exception of a few tweaks for the TV show, reminded me pretty much of what the character was when it was brought out. And I still would say to people, if you want a good interpretation of Batwoman, you go hunt down the DC animated universe movie Batman Bad Blood, because that is how Batwoman is supposed to be. That gives her origin in a very nice, quick, to the point way, and why she has the costume, how she knows people, and that Batman said, you're not, you can't be wearing that until you earn it, and no guns and all this other shit. When I saw the trailer, I said, wow. I said, wow, you fucked up. You basically took all your hard work that you put into Ruby Rose as an actress. And by the way, they are devaluing Ruby Rose as an actress. I've seen her in a few things, and she's not bad.
I don't think that she's this is going to last for her, because everything that Ruby Rose
is going to go a season. But the point is, in that one trailer, they undid every single little thing that they tried to put forth and set in motion in the Arrowverse crossovers. And she is a very likable character in those crossovers.
Everything that she's been in doesn't last long. You have a look at her career, basically everything that she's been in has been a dud.
I would not call Orange is the New Black a dud.
Yeah.
She's not the head.
But I was being asked about the Batwoman trailer and my thoughts on it. My point is,
she's not the lead. She's not the lead in Orange is the New Black.
My point is, what they built up with Ruby Rose, her being Batwoman in the Arrowverse crossovers, they've completely wasted in that trailer. And it really is because she does the My Whammons thing. They're doing the get woke, go broke. But the fucking joke is on everybody else, whether or not they continue after the fall 2019 season anyway. And Doku, if you want to jump in and back me up or bring something to this, please do. Their next crossover event is Crisis on Infinite Earths, which, if you know anything about that fucking comic book, literally raised the entire DC to the ground and rebuilt it as one singularity. I don't know what the fuck they plan on doing after that, because you would basically have to take everything back to scratch, and frankly, their numbers aren't high enough to do it for the TV show anymore. Arkeen, all yours.
Well, what I wanted to point out is that with the present version of a strong woman, they're actually much weaker than they used to be, because if you want to know of a strong woman, then Jessica Rabbit is still a much stronger woman than any of these modern women are.
Well, I'm going to say this about the Batwoman character. If you go back to the comics when she was still...
I don't know about Jessica Rabbit.
I know about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I know about Jessica Rabbit. But
hello?
No, with the...
Hang on.
Real quick. I don't know if you can hear Doku talking. Google has been messing up the last month or so with that, and Doku so you might not be able to hear him. You might have to F5 real quick. Maybe that's the problem.
I could hear him just fine. That's why I had my mic shut off so people could talk.
Yeah. Oh, this is something that's been happening for a little bit, where Doku's our latest little victim. This isn't the first time it's happened to him, where
hello.
where someone hasn't been able to hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Well, as long as you guys can hear me, I can hear y'all.
I can hear you, Doku.
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
no,
all right.
This time, real quick. Yeah, this time, Arkeen can't hear you, and he's now. Yeah.
Well, he F5'd. I'm pretty sure he can hear Doku now. So, Doku, go ahead.
Hopefully. Yeah. So, no, this is I can hear you, Farty. No, this is This is the thing with the Batwoman character. When Batwoman was very, 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 very first introduced, it was introduced. She was introduced as a side character. She was intended to be a love interest for Batman, but we're talking way back before the modern age, like the Silver Age of comics.
That's the Silver Age stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So, but when she became her own character and got her own title, Batwoman has been, believe she was bisexual at once, and then she was heterosexual again, and then she was lesbian. Like, the sexuality's changed around depending on what story arc you're going to go with.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Ruby Rose. She is a good actress. My problem with the Batwoman trailer is the writing just seems bad. It's the CW, so I'm not going to rag on the costume design or special effects or anything like that, because it's the CW. What the hell do you expect? Ruby Rose is a perfectly fine actress. The acting seemed fine. What I have a problem with is the writing and the pandering, because god damn, guys, you can write a character who's gay, bisexual, trans, heterosexual. It doesn't fucking matter. Just give us good writing and a good story. You don't need to be so heavy-handed with shit. We get it. Anyone who's a fan of Batwoman knows that the modern incantation of Batwoman is a fucking lesbian. You don't need to make that the entirety of her identity. Give us a more compelling backstory.
Toku, here's another point. Is this show only for Western audiences? And if it's not, then how are they getting away with this in other areas of the world? I mean, this is a valid question that nobody has asked.
I don't think they're going to get away with it in other nations, but you have to bear in mind that they are so American-centric now that it's painful. I mean, they are just behaving like a black hole at this point, and even Japanese are starting to get dragged into this mess.
Oh, even the Western audiences are getting tired of the pandering. Like, I could be of whatever sexual orientation. As long as I have a good story, I don't really care. Like, there's a small group of people that just can't enjoy a story if they don't have, my representation. But the vast majority of people just want to watch something that's entertaining. Like, it's supposed to be entertainment. It's not supposed to be political commentary. Like, what the fuck? It gets annoying after a long time.
Well, no, that's a very good point, because if you're watching a show like, for example, House of Cards or The West Wing, you're watching it for the political aspect, right? That's what it's political centric. But you're watching Batwoman. Why the fuck do you want politics in it at all, or gender politics, identity politics whatsoever? Why? It's Batwoman.
Well, and here's the issue, and this is what gets annoying. Sorry to cut you off. If the fact that she has a lesbian relationship and that helps drive the character arc, and like something happens to her lover and that drives her to do what she does, if it's a plot device that's used correctly, that's fine. But the way the trailer comes off is just being heavy-handed and being like, hey, are you of a certain sexual orientation? Do you like superheroes? Hey, here you go. This is for you. But don't go watch like Captain America or Iron Man or something. You won't be able to relate to that. There's no way you would enjoy that. Pepper Potts and Tony Stark. No, there's no way you'd enjoy that heterosexual relation. No, that's bullshit. That has nothing to do with the freaking character arc. There's a difference between using something as a plot device and then pandering. And this is just flat out pandering. That's how it comes across.
Well, I want to bounce off that real quick, because I know a lot of people do not like Supergirl. I don't mind the show. One of the better interpretations in regards to a character, in regards to character growth and development, is her sister, Alex. They have made it clear, for whatever reason, that Alex is gay. I don't give a shit. But the way they did it was good. They used that as character growth and development, with why Alex couldn't hold down a boyfriend or had relationship problems or didn't know how to relate to certain people. And when she met Maggie Sawyer, who's always been gay, by the way, in the comics, one of the very first DC characters of the modern era, say about 1987 or so, that was good, because they said, okay, hey, look, we're going to take this character. Alex is going to be revealed to gay. They didn't blow it out of the water. And over 2 seasons, they had massive character growth with Alex Danvers, Kara's sister, Alex Danvers, and saying she came out to her sister, she came out to her mom, she came out to people, and everybody's like, well, that actually explains a lot. And it wasn't a negative thing. It gave Alex, who was very much a one-dimensional character, if I'm Supergirl's big sister and I have a problem with her being an alien too, yes, I have my own issues to deal with. Yes, I have my own fears to struggle with and overcome. And I'm worried that people may not accept me. And everybody's like, hey, that's part of who you are, not all of who you are. They did it very much right with Alex. And they gave her a love interest. It didn't work out because Alex wanted to have a family. Maggie didn't. This is shit that people go through regardless of your sexual orientation. Whether you're gay or straight, doesn't matter. People go through these things. And Supergirl did that right. They did it literally as a plot device to move forward with a character's growth, because Alex, again, was very one-dimensional.
Even if you don't...
And then and then on the flip side, they kind of fucked it up with Dream Girl, with Nia Nal. Oh, yeah, this person's transgender. It's like, we don't give a shit. Just give us a good character we like. And we like Nia Nal as a character. We like that she's hanging out with Brainiac 5. We like these characters. But you don't need to shove that shit in her face. And she goes, well, I'm transgender. It's like, yeah, nobody gives a shit. You're a good character. We like you, but we don't need to know that part of your life unless it's going to build up to something. And they fucked all that good work with Alex up by doing this with the character Nia Nal. It's like, you did it right with Alex. Why can't you do it right with her? But Nia Nal,
I'll give you a good example, Zero.
Because I'm almost done. Nia Nal's thing was that Brainiac 5 knew who she was and he couldn't reveal future details. That was okay, but they handled the transgender thing wrong. We didn't give a shit that she was a transgender actress. We don't give a shit that she's a transgender character. We just want her to be likable. And most of the time she is. But they got a little too heavy-handed and kind of undid all the goodwill that they built up with Alex over 2 seasons for her character coming out and dealing with very real-world struggling life type stuff, and ham-fisted in less than half a season that this character's transgender. And it's like, God, just give us a fucking good character.
Well, and I'll give you a good example of this. And you don't even necessarily need to use a character's sexuality as like a major, like their number one defining trait. And if that's the direction you're going to go with, you better damn well do it well, because it's going to ruin the character. But a great example of using a character's preferences, and it doesn't even need to be something sexual, but Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones, that scene where he says, this pleases me, this pleases me. You already kind of know where this guy's mindset is. Like, yeah, he tried to be a maester, he went and explored and everything. Like, you can tell the character is just aloof, doesn't give a shit. He does whatever the fuck he wants because, again, to use the same words, this pleases me, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Or even just the way Dorne looks at the way that bastard children are treated. You don't even need to make it a defining characteristic, as long as it tells you something about the character and you can understand their mindset, the culture, where they come from, and you can do it in a tactful and subtle way, and it can be good. But you don't need to be heavy-handed with it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Goku. You're right. That was a very good example of them doing it correctly. But I'll give you an example from the exact same show. You have I can't remember his fucking name right now.
Renly Baratheon?
Bran? Boy, they fucking ham-fisted that shit.
And Renly Baratheon, and that scene where he's shaving his chest. That was blatant. And he even goes down on him in the scene. That was uncalled for. We didn't need that.
Because it doesn't add anything to the character. It's like, okay, we get it. But now it's like, again, some certain things require a more subtle touch. You can be heavy-handed if the situation calls for it, but just being heavy-handed for the sake of being heavy-handed is completely unnecessary if it doesn't add to the character. And this is someone who's a writer, and I have been grilled by editors before. If it doesn't add anything to the character, if it doesn't add anything to the scene, if it doesn't lead to another, like you're starting a new plot arc, or if it doesn't start a subplot, if it's unnecessary, get rid of it. That's the difference between using something for character development or plot development as opposed to just pandering. If it's pointless, get rid of it. It's
Well,
unnecessary.
that's the thing of show, don't tell. People seem to forget a lot, and I'm going back to the Supergirl thing with Nia Nal. They tell too much by exposition as opposed to showing with character growth. And people are also forgetting that good writing often benefits from less is more.
It is more engaging the imagination, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
and
no,
I think
and
that's
I was
that's
just
the
looking, real quick. I was just looking over on Twitter. This is 2 minutes ago from Politico. Trump drops his unpopular plan to impose tariffs on Mexico after the two countries reach a deal to stem the flow of Central American migrants entering the United States.
I'm calling it right now. Mexico's going to renege. Mark my words. That's all I'm saying.
they will.
Like, are they turning those caravans around? I don't see that
No, they're not. That ain't going to happen. Mexico, and Ben Shapiro's like, good for you, Trump. And I'm like, I'm calling it right now, Ben. Mexico reneges. Bite me.
Well, if Mexico reneges, Trump is likely going to bring up the tariffs again.
Well, I know this. Sorry, go ahead.
It seems that they're more happy to use tariffs as a means to get his way than guns, which is actually a good thing.
Well, one of the most useful things about tariffs is if you threaten to put them in place, especially on a short timeline, it is an easy way to get someone to the negotiating table. It's not going to work with someone like China, and you're going to need to be really bullheaded when it comes to, again, someone like China, Russia, or the EU. With Mexico, it could work because same hemisphere and not the same type of economy. But this touches on just real quick.
Germany bent the knee.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
I don't think you understand how weak the European economy is.
Oh, the European economy is not doing good.
No, it's not doing good at all.
Let me know when we get back to the previous topic, Mad Dodge.
Okay.
On us off.
You have companies like Volkswagen that build their cars in Mexico now. Tell you what though, like we got one, and Jesus, the Speaks fucking make a decent car.
Well, and this is just something I was actually talking to my dad about earlier because we were talking about trading. No one who is a trader is ever going to tell you this, but if you ever decide you wanted to try your hand at it, here's just an unspoken tip. Very important political or financial information, if it's coming out of the White House, coming out of a corporation or business, doesn't matter. That information always drops on a Friday, and it drops after the market closes. So if you have some profits and you decide you want to take the profits, do it before the close of business on Friday, because you never know what information is going to come out, and then people have the entirety of the weekend to digest it, and you have no idea how the market's going to open on Monday. Just an unspoken rule.
Does that mean that in general you will see there will be a dip in the stock market on Fridays and then an uptick on Mondays?
The Monday market could open up or down depending on what information comes out at the end of the trading session on Friday.
Yeah,
no, and I was just digging, and I found Donald Trump's actual tweet. This is directly from President Trump. I am pleased to inform you that the United States of America has reached a signed agreement with Mexico. The tariffs scheduled to be implemented by the United States on Monday against Mexico are hereby indefinitely suspended. Mexico, in turn, has agreed to take strong measures to stem the tide of migration through Mexico and to our southern border. This is being done to greatly reduce or eliminate illegal immigration coming from Mexico and into the United States. Details of the agreement will be released shortly by the State Department. This is 49 minutes ago. Well, hereby suspended does not mean going away, right?
Nope.
It doesn't mean it's off the table. It's just
It means it's on hold for right now, meaning we can lord this over your head all you want if you try to renege on shit, which is exactly what's going to happen.
Well, I know for one sad little girl that's not going to like this at all. Do you know what her name is?
Well, I'm wondering what's going to happen when the migration through Mexico really comes to a head. Because if you look at Venezuela right now, there's a large population of people that are going to be headed north. That is going to happen. Mexico cannot take the brunt of that. They're gonna let it pass through to the United States, aren't they?
Well, the bigger question would be, does Mexico, like, they can agree with Trump all they want and say they're going to do whatever they agreed to. Do they have the ability to do so just from an on-the-ground logistical perspective?
I don't
think they do.
So the cartels are still running half the country, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be hard. But are you aware that you have people from Africa going through Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a few from Congo. That was the Ebola thing we were talking about earlier.
Where,
we'll see how that.
Where in
see how
hell
that
are
works
you
out.
from, dude? I've got to ask this. Where are you at?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Norway.
Oh, okay.
Fuck off.
What?
Oh, Jesus. I was just curious where you were at because you were bringing a unique perspective. It was Farty that decided to tell you to piss off.
Well, I don't know why Farty, why do you have a problem with the Norwegians? It's not like the Vikings invaded fucking
No.
Australia.
It's because the Australians are not worthy of lifting Mjolnir.
No, fucking. I'm trying to get into my fucking phone, right, and all of a sudden, I'm trying to get out of one function, and then that stupid fucking what's a bloody stupid Siri bitch fucking opens up, and I'm like, fuck off, and she's like, oh, I can't really do that. It's like, just fuck off.
Siri's already causing problems between the Aussies and the Norwegians. Way to go, Siri, you fucker.
No,
do you want to know another interesting tidbit from Norway?
Like, what time is it in Australia? 8 a.m. He's already so drunk. Siri's fucking with him.
I know,
I
right?
love the Australians.
Well, do you want to know an interesting fact about Norway?
Who want to win now?
Sure. No, that's why I was silent. Go ahead.
Well, we are very, very close to having our own Yellow Vest movement over here. We got one issue party that's doing well, and the only thing they want is get rid of the toll booths.
You know what's interesting is I have my friend Rat Resistance. He comes on the show every now and then. He's from Norway. I actually had a debate with him, literally, which is better, the United States or Norway. So I will invite you to go back through my catalog and find that debate. But
demonetized.
But do you?
No, what's interesting though is what he pretty much told me is there's no conservatives really in Norway. You have the leftist party and the lefter party.
Well, that is not entirely true. We got the party known as the Progress Party.
Conservatism is not the same across the board. That's what a lot of people don't realize. So if you say, yeah, there are no conservatives in Norway, well, if you think about it from the American standard, it's probably very true because you're not thinking how Norwegians see politics. You're only seeing it how you see it. So there may actually be conservatives over there, but the conservative values may be slightly different than what you think.
No. That is not the case in Norway. The case is that we have the party known as the Progress Party, and they are having a bit of a civil war these days because they wear the we're classical liberals, and then the neocons infected it. And then you had this Christian woman that was classical libertarian, and she was quite a rising star until the state media managed to get rid of her, because the state media they are worse than the BBC.
Yeah, no, and Doku, if you can see the side chat, I asked you a question behind the scenes here. So just type your reply for me, because I figured Exiled Opinions is going to help in this 24-hour live stream. Tonight's your drinking game. So yeah, when are you guys going live? Fuck it, I said it on air.
Oh, is this
Well,
is this
normally that
24
would be
hours?
midnight.
Is this a 24-hour stream?
Yeah, well, yeah. So what's going to happen here is we're going to go until Exiled Opinions goes live. They're going to go live with their drinking game. I'm going to deal with my kids and everything, and then as soon as they go off air, I'm back live. So
I thought you wanted people to do blocks.
Also, I could use the help. If I sit here solo, just rambling all night, well, we're going to find a lot of copyright-free music. I'll tell you that much.
All right. Well, I gotta fuck off for a bit then.
I thought you wanted people to take over time blocks so you could get a break or sleep.
Yeah, I do, which would be why I brought up Exiled Opinions taking over a time slot. I thought in about half an hour, but it sounds more like an hour and a half, Doku, right?
Yeah, that would be about right.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna fuck off.
Before the drinking game goes live. So
I'm gonna fuck off. I'll see you in an hour and a half.
all right, take it easy, Farty. Go take your coffee break at the call station.
I'm wondering if you can get a copyright violation. Like, here's the reason I'm asking this. Like, if you asked me to do a 2-hour block, which I'm more than insane enough to do, yes, I would. If I were to show what was on my Twitter, would you get a copyright strike even though I'm hosting that 2-hour block with authorization for me to show what's on my Twitter?
I don't believe so. I believe a lot of people have bots and stuff that go crawling around YouTube and blocking people. People like, oh, I don't know, Nerdist, because I played a certain video that they got my entire 2.5-hour stream banned from every country for.
Oh, I already can't live stream on my channel for whatever fuck amount of time because I played The Terminator on YouTube, which was free on YouTube with ads. And yet they said, well, that's copyright infringement. I said, motherfuckers, you're the ones that are showing it on YouTube with ads, dummies.
That's insane. Because I saw that advertisement, man, where it said Terminator, watch for free right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's copyrighted, even though I'm live streaming on YouTube. So I don't give a shit that if I'm suspended for whatever amount of time, I don't really give a shit. But if I were to do a 2-hour block, which I said, yeah, I'll be glad to do a 2-hour block, I would just read through articles and try to have some side chat going on so I could, talk and read at the same time. But whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, and yeah, man, I'm definitely willing to DM you the stream key. That way you can do a little chunk for me. I am gonna have to sleep, guys. I am not Charlie Sheen. I do not do cocaine. I do
may not be Charlie Sheen, but I get told that I look like a slightly less thinner version of fucking Emilio Estevez, which I did not like being called Bombay in fucking high school. I can tell you that.
Well,
did you go around looking at everybody and go, "I'll make you famous"?
No, I actually went around high school with a hockey stick and learned to rollerblade, and I kept getting suspended. And I said, "Well, then tell everybody to shut the hell up and stop saying quack, quack, quack when I walk down the hall." And they literally had to do it. They said, "Stop saying Dave looks like, Gordon Bombay. No more quacking or it's an automatic detention." This didn't stop me from rollerblading and using a hockey stick on some jocks, but that's a stick accident we're not going to talk about.
No, that's hilarious, actually.
Oh, it's
I
fucking
mean-
hilarious. It's hilarious because my daughter looks at my old high school pictures. She goes, I can see why mom was into you. You were pretty good looking. I said, yeah. She goes, what happened? And I go, you. You were born.
Right? Like
And
my
your
kids
mom
look
got
at me,
pregnant.
why are
And
you
the
going
pregnancy
bald,
weight never
Dad?
went away. God damn it.
Right? No, the kids look at me, why are you going bald, Dad? Because of you.
You.
That's
I learned it from you, man. I learned it from you.
Well, to move it something different, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What are your views about crypto?
My views about what? I missed the last part.
I think he's referring to cryptocurrency.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a little torn here because I feel like a currency should be backed by something tangible. Like even if you wanted to back your currency on wheat production, at least that's something that is physical. When it comes to Bitcoin, there's nothing there. This is just fiat currency, just like the USD right now, which I would prefer to be backed by the gold standard.
Actually, there is something that is back in the Bitcoin. And that
Go
is
ahead. Go ahead and elaborate.
And that is the entire illegal underground market. That is what is back in the Bitcoin. Because you are right, crypto by itself has no value unless there is something that is backing it up in some way. Like Ethereum, for instance, it's backed up by the fact that Ethereum is the Wall Street of crypto.
Yeah, no, and the whole idea of how they mine Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other cryptocurrencies, it really doesn't make sense to me. You're doing algebra pretty much, and that's how you're getting solid currency that is now trading for what, $1,000 per Bitcoin. That's insane to me.
Do you know why these miners are doing that part of the job for the crypto in question? It's not to generate the coin, that is a side benefit. There is another reason it's done this way. Do you want to know what that is?
Well, no, and in the side chat here, Dade said, yes, it should, Mad Dodge. They use algorithms that mine your computers with spyware. Yeah, right? Aren't they pretty much just inviting you to download some viruses? And
Nope.
even when you turn your
No,
computer
no.
off,
I'm
it'll run in the
simply
background and
making
shit.
the point that people have created viruses, spyware, and rootkits to data mine your computer for bitcoins, even though you don't have bitcoins, which is not Bitcoin itself. I'm making the differential here. They do that to get bitcoins by data mining access to your computer with getting digital information from your, like if you buy something on Amazon, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That's what Bitcoin does. I'm saying that's what people do to get Bitcoin.
Yes, but the whole era of the proof of work coin is coming to an end. Because there's a limit to how fast you can improve graphic processors and CPUs. We are basically reaching that point now thanks to big tech, ironically. And that is why the crypto is now moving away from proof of work, which is computer hardware intensive, and over to human mining and proof of stake.
Well, no, and we have a question from the chat, guys. And every time I unmute, the kids get loud. They'll be quiet until I unmute. It's horrible. But no, Joshua Janice. What's everyone's take on D Live? Ant Jack asks, what is D Live? Well, I can answer that. D Live is a streaming service that has recently starting to get more users and get more out in the forefront. Do you believe that these third-party streaming services are going to rise and maybe eventually take the place of YouTube, especially after the Vox adpocalypse?
No, I believe that the main competitor will be Twitch at the moment. But what I believe is going to happen is that we're going to end up with a couple of different streaming services which will be running on pretty similar platforms. Not platforms, but marketing schemes. It's just that they are going to each pick their own group of people. Like one streaming service that I watch, they are basically the artist community. We are talking about explicit art here.
Okay, Doku, what's your take on services like D Live? Because you guys use Restream.io, right? To stream through D Live, through my channel, through Exiled Opinions channel. You could even use it to stream through Facebook if you felt so inclined.
As far as I'm concerned, it's the same way I view financials. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you can diversify, then go ahead and do it, because especially considering what happened this past week, you could be here one day and you could be gone the next. So why wouldn't you have a backup plan? It's always good to have contingencies.
And speaking of backup plans, I recently found a site that is really interesting in that regard. Anyone interested in knowing about it?
I'm always curious to have new information that I'm not already privy to.
Yeah, you guys can share that somewhere else. A lot of us do not give a shit about that. No offense, guys.
Well, I just
Toss it in the side chat.
Good idea. Oh, so speaking of things that people shouldn't give a shit about, not that what you guys are talking about is unimportant. I'm just bringing something to the attention here, and I really would like to screen share this. So if this, as soon as my computer decides to not be an asshole about shit, I'm gonna share this, and hopefully it works. Let me know, Mad Dodge, if it does.
Well, I have you presented, so as soon as it pops up,
there you go. It says, so Mr. Loudmouth Carlo Mazza at Gay Wonk says, no speech platform that amplifies anti-LGBT hate speech. One, the United States government and Supreme Court says hate speech does not exist as of 2017, so fuck off. And rewards bigots should be invited to march in our pride parades. Either you have our backs or get the fuck out of our way. Well, Carlos Mazza, why don't you do us all a solid, shut the fuck up and get out of fucking everybody else's way, because you don't speak for the entire LGBT community, let alone my kid. I wait for you to block my ass. Bring it, bitch.
Actually, I believe that this is the best thing he could ever do, because if he starts yeeting the social media platforms, then that is another piece of the infrastructure that they are losing. I mean, they're already burning infrastructure like it was going out of style. I want them to just continue doing that.
Well, no, and here's the thing too. Like, he is trying to sacrifice all of us to the altar of social justice just because he's mad at one person.
And when that doesn't work, he's going to try to play the martyr. Watch.
Yeah, he's the self-professed Cuban, fucking Jesse Smollett, right? I mean, come on.
You know what? I can't believe I'm about to say this, but please do not offend Jesse Smollett.
Wow.
Because Jesse Smollett is a C-list actor. And I'm not defending a single thing he did, but I'm simply pointing out that Jesse Smollett actually took time and consideration to think out his fake hate crime. That boy got acting skills. I don't know what the fuck Carlos is.
You got a point. Yeah, you're right.
Well, the timing of what Carlos did was good, but yeah, I can probably agree that he's just been so used to using his playbook that he isn't aware of how things have changed, because what he basically was wanting to do, it seems, is he wanted to Alex Jones, Steven Crowder, and back then it was only Alex Jones that got ejected off the platforms, but things have changed since then. I mean, these social media platforms, they just want these people to shut up, so if they figure if they toss in more people, then maybe they will shut up, but...
Well, first off, I want to address the chat. Joshua Janet says Mad Dodge needs to interview DSP. I'm not sure who DSP is.
Dark Side Phil, and that would never happen.
Oh, he wouldn't like me?
No, let's just put it this way. For the sake of argument here, if you were to ever say I wanted to interview a gamer, Darkside Phil would not be the person, and I would suggest that everybody go over and put into the YouTube search bar down the rabbit hole Darkside Phil. When you see this, and this is like a 2-year-old video, and believe me, not much has changed besides him getting married. He's still an asshole, but he literally shits on everybody who supports him, and yet they like it. I would literally smack this guy upside his face if I had the chance. He's that big of a jackass. Now, Noah Antweiler may have had a breakdown, but fucking Darkside Phil makes Noah Antweiler look like he's sane. Intentionally.
Okay, fair enough. And also, all right, let's have this conversation. When it comes to YouTube, is YouTube a social media platform, i.e. Facebook or MySpace circa 2003? Or is it a platform where people are trying to make money? Because I think we have this disagreement here. Because Google, I'm in the partner program. Google pays me money. All right? That means I am an independent contractor. That means as a content creator, I am contracted independently to make videos for Google in exchange for my AdSense revenue or super chats, right? That they're no longer a social media platform at that point, are they?
Well, technically, I would say they are a social media platform. I mean, the problem for YouTube is that if they are not going to be a social media platform, then they own everything on YouTube, and that means that they are the ones that needs to be sued, and they will be sued so hard the time and space will bend.
What's the rest of your guys' thoughts? Doku and then Dade, go ahead. Is YouTube a social media platform, or do I have a point? Where am I wrong if I'm wrong?
You're asking me a question that has a lot of moving parts. There's no one simple answer. If it technically, yes. If I wanted to go to a publisher and present them with a work and say, hey, I wrote this. You guys like it? You want to publish it? And if they tell me no, well, I got to go to somebody else to find it. YouTube encompasses aspects of both being a publisher and a platform, and this is why this conversation is so complicated. You can't have a platform which has such vague terms of service Like if I'm not going to talk about the demonetizing thing because that's up to YouTube's volition. Their vague terms of service is bullshit, but you know what? That's what the platform puts forth. That's where the key of the argument is, but I'm not going to get into that. But deplatforming somebody just because they're putting up videos you don't like, but you can't give them a straight answer as to how they violated your community guidelines, and you're just going to remove videos. Well, again, a publisher could say, I don't like your work, I'm not going to publish it. That's not necessarily what YouTube is doing. They're using the best of both worlds, but acting as both at the same time. You're either one or you're the other. You should still be able to post videos on YouTube and not be monetized, but you shouldn't be subject to the same set of rules as if you were monetized. And I guarantee you, mark my words, this is what's going to happen.
Toku, no, this is kind of important. This is why I'm cutting you off. What you just said was there should be separate rules for those who are and aren't monetized. I want you to elaborate on that point, because should there be separate rules? If I can put up a video when I'm not monetized and it's perfectly fine, what makes it bad as soon as I have ad revenue?
You know, there should be separate rules, and this I'm going to make my argument from this, and if you agree or disagree, by all means, tell me why. But if I'm not doing anything, and I'm going to use YouTube's own words against them, if I'm not doing anything egregious to harm the community, if I'm just posting videos with opinions that people might like or might not like, maybe I'm making edgy jokes, maybe I'm being an edgy boy, perhaps no edgy than Stephen Colbert is or freaking Kathy Griffin. As long as I'm not using direct call to action, I mean, hell, I'm probably not even a public figure if I'm not eligible for monetization. I'm not doing direct call to action. If I'm not doing anything that wouldn't be violating any other law, if you're a platform, I'm not breaking the law. I should have a more loosely defined set of guidelines. I should be allowed to make jokes and make content. If people don't like it, they can do rebuttals, they can do whatever. It's not like I'm harming the community. Now, if YouTube decides they're going to stick their stamp of approval on me, you need to give me a certain set of guidelines, because now if I'm part of the YouTube creator program, I not only represent myself, but now I'm also representing YouTube. So you need to tell me what I can or cannot say. What kind of jokes am I allowed to make? This is where, and YouTube does this intentionally, I guarantee it. They do this because they want to have the best of both worlds, because if I don't say something, or I do say something, and YouTube doesn't like it, they can use that gray area to decide, I like this person, but I don't like this person. So let's find a loophole here. Let's use the objective hate speech. Well, define what's hate speech. Well, Don Lemon apparently thinks I'm the greatest threat to frickin' America because I'm a cis white male. I consider that hate speech. I find that offensive. And they're monetized. Where's the difference? It's all a matter of perspective.
Well,
so
no,
there should be a different standard.
The chat wants to interject here. Joshua says, I would say YouTube and social media is a publisher because they censor speech for no obvious reason besides what's politically expedient. But then again, I'm a nobody. Well, I'm a nobody. You know, I am in the partner program. I have 1,500 subscribers, but what the fuck is that in the grand scheme of things? That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket.
Well, here's the question, Matt Dutch. You're in the partner program now. Do you know what standards you're being held to? Because now technically you are at least somewhat representative of YouTube, or at least the advertisers that would be potentially on your channel. Do you know what standards you're being held to?
The answer is no.
None of us know.
And you knew the answer before you asked it, but I'll answer you. No, I don't.
And see, that's my point. That's my point. If I'm just making random content, and like, as long as I'm not saying like just crazy off the wall shit, like let's say I want to have a conspiracy theory. I want to talk about UFOs. I want to talk about Area 51. They put that crap on the History Channel. They've been doing it for decades. You're telling me I can't talk about that on YouTube, especially if I'm not sponsored because, oh, it's a conspiracy theory? It's selective enforcement. Let's be perfectly blunt here. If YouTube really wants the best of both worlds, there needs to be a clear set of standards.
I absolutely agree. And, Exiled Opinions, you and Frank, you guys stream to my channel. That makes you a part of my brand. That makes you also a representative.
Exactly. And that's why we've done our best to roll stuff back and, not be as crazy as we were before. Like now we just talk about movie reviews and crack some jokes. But the thing is, I still don't even know the standards of what jokes I can say. Again, look at Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, or Bill Maher. I don't even know what I'm allowed to say. There's no clear set of standards, and YouTube uses that to their advantage, and that's where the problem stems from.
No, I totally agree.
Again, define hate speech for me, Mad Dodge. What is hate speech?
Well, I don't believe in hate crimes or hate speech, so I can't make that definition. But here's the thing, guys. All right, it's about to hit 7 on the West Coast. I believe in about an hour, Exiled Opinions will be streaming for about a 2-hour block. After they wrap up, or during their show, I may join them. I will be back on air. I invite anybody who would like to join. We are going to take about an hour intermission here because I have 3-year-olds and they're hungry. I gotta make some dinner, guys. All right, it's like 7 o'clock. I gotta make dinner. I'm the only one here, so we are going to take an hour intermission. We went about 3 hours. That means I owe you guys another 21. And I will be counting Exiled Opinions in that, though. God damn it. So
we knew that going into it.
Yeah, we will see you guys soon. Thank you very much. I appreciate the newcomer, and I don't want to gut your screen name again because I say everything wrong. But do you have a channel? Do you want to shout anything out before I go off air for an hour intermission?
I don't really have a channel. I'm just a nobody from Norway.
All right. Well, actually, man, if you're not in my Discord, I invite you to join. I want to connect you with Rat because Rat Resistance lives out in Norway. He does good music when I can understand the lyrics because only half of them are in English, but it is what it is. And he's also a very funny and entertaining guy. So, I now know 2 people from Norway. That's interesting.
Well, it's always interesting to learn of other Norwegian artists out there. I mean, I am a game developer.
Dade, I just got your DM. What's going to happen is Exiled Opinions is going to go live in about an hour, and then I will recreate a stream, and I will shoot you the link as soon as I create it.
Okay.
And if you want my stream key and you want to do a couple hours in the middle of the night for me so I can get a little bit of sleep, that would be appreciated.
Do I gotta sign up for anything, or is it just gonna go right to this?
I think let's go off air and we'll
right.
talk about how that works. But yeah, thank you everybody. We're gonna take an hour intermission and then Exiled Opinions is going live with the Drunken Tomatoes drinking game. Or the Rotten Tomatoes drinking game. Drunken Tomatoes. Here we go.
We might as well call it Drunken Tomatoes at this point in time. It would be more
No
appropriate.
kidding, you guys.
I know, right? Like this is gonna be bad, dude. Just wait till 4 a.m. I'm gonna be horrible.
Oh my God! These guys had the chance to get me plastered with the Captain Marvel shit, and we couldn't get a hold of you. Like whatever. The one time you could have seen me plastered, and you'd fucking do it without me.
Oh,
Hey, don't hold that against me. I don't have any power here.
I didn't do it. I'm a good boy.
Like I didn't do nothing.
I'm part of the I'm part of the Sweetie Squad. Jim groomed me well.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're taking an hour intermission, guys, and we will be back live. I'm trying to stick to my promise. I did hit 1,500. Matter of fact, we've gained a few more subscribers as we were live, so that's always good. We'll see you.
Oh, well, cheers to all the new subs.
All right, let me get the last word in here before we go off. Welcome to intermission.
There we go. Don't go to France, people.